Save the right full screen.
Welcome, everybody, to the 22nd episode of Screaming Into the Void, where we talk about whatever the hell we feel like. Today, I have with us, we have returning to the panel for the first time in a while. We've all missed him, Maester Chow. How you doing, buddy?
Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth. Our esteemed co-host, Captain Cat of Starfleet.
Live long and prosper.
Die young and in debt. We also have returning to the panel mandatory Carrie, who is apparently I'm not going to repeat that name, dude. I'm not going to say that.
Oh no!
I know what that means.
I'll do it to myself.
Yeah. So and joining us for the first time, we have Ryan from Legion Games or Legion Talk, I believe is the name of your channel. Yes.
I have four. We won't go that far into it, but yeah, Legion Games, Legion Talk are both two channels. Yes. Thanks for having me on, man. It's cool.
Yeah, no worries. Glad you could join us. Had a little issue. Okay, so we tried streaming directly to Rumble again. I'm going to get with Kat at some point and figure out how the hell she's doing the simultaneous streaming thing, because I have trouble making that work. So we're just on YouTube today, but it will be up on Rumble in sometime in the next 12 hours. So
go between now and 10 minutes after it happens.
Yeah, go sub to the Rumble. Links in the description. Which, by the way, that reminds me, Ryan, Carrie, I need to put all of your information in the description too at some point. Don't worry, it will end up there.
Okay, that's not a big deal. I
really don't give a fuck.
I know you don't. It's not about you.
On.
I was just trying to be nice, buddy.
That's what you get.
So,
nice. Just get shit on.
So to start us off, because today's topic is going to be kind of in the ish zone. We're going to talk about modern parenting. Not everybody on the panel is a parent, but I think most of us are. But before we get into that, I just wanted to show this this cool little video I found on Twitter the other day that has nothing to do with anything awful. It's just neat. All right, so that's an octopus on a boat.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And right up here is an itty bitty little hole.
Oh,
there he goes.
The sailor in the crowd already knows what's about to happen.
Yep.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yep. They have no bones.
No.
This is awesome.
They're like cockroaches, man. They can just squeeze anywhere.
Yeah. This is wild. Anyway, just thought that was a neat thing to share with everybody. So
sorry if I'm a little distracted. Sorry, I'm still looking for that.
Oh, you're good. Bring it up when you can. Saw a thing on Twitter the other day, which I don't have. Kat's looking for the link for me because I'm a lazy piece of shit. And she's awesome. I did. So there was a video that Libs of TikTok posted up. It was on TikTok originally, and it was talking about a polycule, which is when like 5 or 6 people are all in like interconnected relationships that make Game of Thrones look straightforward.
Okay.
Right. And the problem that I have with this issue is like, you want to fuck up your own life, that's fine. Right. But there are 2 children in that house.
Yeah.
And one of them doesn't know who mommy is.
Wait, they don't even know who mommy is? I missed that part. Oh God.
Well, yeah, no, they said, oh, we have the one child, and this person, and this person all have the one child together. Well, 2 of them are ostensibly female. So, yeah. They're all raising the child together as triple parents.
And they're all like intermingling all at the same time?
Here, I think I found it.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Oh, that's horrendous.
Yeah.
That's automatically disturbing, and yet considering who we're talking about, that's a bad sign.
Yep. All right, so let me slide this on. Oh. Obviously, I'm super freaking organized today.
That's all right. I've been working on a damn laptop most of the day trying to get a freaking keyboard replaced so that way I have a backup laptop again, and I think I fucked the whole thing up, so it's all good.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. So we'll go lips TikTok, share audio. Bring it up to full screen.
Oh God.
Sorry
And the
to
first
make
thing
some
I would
brain
say,
hurt.
yeah, so it's just this woman who is presenting the video. All the people in the back are like cutouts or, you know, spliced into the video or whatever. And she describes her polycule, as they call it.
Okay, so me and Kyle have been together for 8 years. Been poly the whole time. Okay.
So wait, just so they've been together
Me and
8
Kyle
years.
Are in a triad with Kit.
Oh, what was that, Cap?
I was just gonna say, she said they've also been poly that whole time. So she's been in a relationship with that guy Kyle, but it's not been a monogamous relationship. I just wanted to make sure people
Yes.
caught that. She said that we have been poly, even though we've been together for 8 years.
That is correct.
Why do these people all look the same?
Yeah. Oh, well, you know what? And it always looks the same. There's always one woman
like
who,
They
yeah.
all look the same because all, like fucking Christians, or I should say fundamentalist Christians, look the same.
That's a Bill Hicks reference for everybody.
Okay.
We have been together, the three of us, for 3 years. We have one child together, and she's 5.
So Kyle, Kit here, and this person all have one child together.
So how would they not know who the mom is? Because someone had to have squirted that crotch critter out.
Well, that's assuming that this is in fact a woman. You see that big ass Adam's apple?
Yeah, no. I get
So
that.
that would make her the mother. But
Let's continue on with this train wreck.
yeah,
It also says queer polycule, so you know that not all the chromosomes are going to line up with what they say.
right.
Crap on somebody's future and past here.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't show the kids on TikTok though.
Thank God for that.
Oh God.
Oh, let's protect the kids from the internet, even though you're
Yeah.
talking about it.
Right. Well, you know what though? I have kids myself. I never show pictures of them, on the internet. I've never put them on the internet even before I was on. My ex-wife, on the other hand, has different ideas about that. But yeah,
That's not a
generally
good idea.
speaking, yeah, no, you don't want your kids out there. It's too
Yeah.
easy for them to get tracked down and targeted by people who have less than
Yeah.
good intentions.
Yeah. No, I would 100% agree with that.
Yeah. So I'm glad they don't show their kids. That's a good thing. But the whole other situation.
Me and Kyle, and Kit, we're triad. Okay. Okay.
I thought a triad was a Chinese gang.
Yeah, it's called spit roasting, lady.
Me and
Or the
Sam
Eiffel Tower.
and Kit and Katie met around the same time. I started dating Sam, and Kit started dating Katie around the same time.
So nobody
Brain
is
pain.
monogamous in this.
My dogs are going crazy. Okay, so
Yes, so are the rest of
I
us.
started dating Sam, Kit started dating Katie, and then just about a little over a month ago, we moved everyone in together. So everyone lives in the same house now. We all live together. Also, I should have definitely done this at the beginning, but pronouns, mine are she, her.
Yeah, because of course.
Who gives a fuck? But, all right, let's go.
He, him, they, them,
Oh God.
they, he,
God.
and Kyle's are he, him.
Wait, what the hell is they he?
Jackie
They
Lee.
he is a mockery and a butchery of the English language is what it is.
You have to play that part.
Yeah, we
yeah.
have to play all of this.
Yeah.
He had to suffer. We have to suffer. Sadly.
That's how it works.
Come on, let the suffering commence so this shit can end, please.
Yeah. All right. So
Oh.
Also, Sam has a son who also moved in. So total, there are 5 adults, 2 kids, 2 dogs, 11 cats.
I'm kind of wondering what
11 cats?
Yeah, 11 cats.
It's Catratraz.
It's yeah. Well, you know how this is going to end, right? Is she's going to be in that house alone with all those cats?
That's good. It's good.
or somebody's getting offed.
Yeah, yeah.
All of
So,
them?
and I kind of wonder what Sam's kid's mother thinks of this situation.
Probably thinks what the direct fuck is going on here.
Yeah.
Now, I personally, Katie and I, we don't really have like romantic feelings towards each other. We have a huge platonic love for each other.
Can't imagine why. Just saying.
Keep going. Keep going.
And we're really great friends. Kit and Sam are literally the same person and they're best friends. And same thing. They don't really have a romantic love, but they have a platonic love for each other.
This makes my brain hurt.
Katie and Kyle,
Yeah, like I said, they somehow managed to
I
make
might
this
hate
even.
you just a little bit for this, Sam. Just
Well, it's not like you didn't have it coming.
yeah. This is what I get. I'm gone for a few weeks and everything goes to shit.
Yeah, that and I'm
Well,
still
it's
mad
kinda
about
already
Excel
there.
Saga.
Ryan, make it stop.
We're almost there. There's only like a minute and a half left.
That's a lot.
You know, you can't play this at 2 times speed.
I could do that, but no.
I just
Kyle,
don't think
I
it
won't
has the.
speak for them. I really don't.
What was that?
I was just gonna say I don't think it has the same effect if you rush through it. I think you have to soak in all the crazy so you
Oh,
can
yeah.
really try to basically just mock the shit out of it because these people are so damaged. It's not even funny.
Yeah. I guarantee every single one of them either had an absent father or hates them.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to cause a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yeah.
Don't know. Like, I think they're just like they're the two like awkwards of the group where they just like finger gun at each other all the time. You know.
Yeah, we used to call that third and fifth wheels.
Yeah, and it's also called murder suspect and victim.
Yeah.
Suspects.
Plausible deniability. That's
Yeah.
what they're forgetting here.
Yeah.
And then Kyle and Sam, they just bro it out. I don't know. Oh, that kind of cover.
Just
Because they're dudes, right?
throw it out, dude. Like
Yeah.
let's
Throw it out.
Yeah.
I can't.
They bro it out in the back door. Is that what I'm getting from this?
I did maybe. Doesn't
I'm getting a real Little Spoon vibe from Kyle, is all I'm saying.
I have to ask? Doesn't Sam look slightly normal? What the hell is this guy doing here? He's
None
the
of
only
that
one that
looks
looks
normal.
moderately normal.
He's there for the sex.
That'd be my guess, yeah. But he clearly can't be totally normal because a normal guy would never have moved his child into this situation in the first place.
No.
Okay, so it's his child. Okay, all right.
Yeah, just by itself.
Good to
He
know.
brought Carrie, he brought his kid into this, and then Kyle and orange hair back there and the
It's all just
large
Scrooge
amount of
unfit
pink in the
parent.
front. Yeah. I'll share a second child. So there are 2 children in the house, along with all those dogs and cats.
Ugh.
I
Covered it.
never felt more sorry
Again.
for a cat.
Yeah.
So you have the triad,
No.
Savvy, Kyle, Kit, and then you have Savvy and Sam, and then you have Kit and Katie, and then all together, we're the polycule. For the most part.
And then they just get into like sleeping arrangements and shit, which nobody cares.
Uh,
That
No,
made me
that's
wanna
even
stick
more
a
messed
toothpick
up.
under
You-
my
you-
big toenail and kick a wall.
Right?
Just play it, just because this is even more messed up.
You want me to play it?
Yes.
We've
I
got
think
enough damage for one day, haven't we?
No. Cat's insisting. Cat wants the damage.
I want you guys to see because I had to watch the whole thing.
So did I. All right. Well, here we go. It's yeah.
Depends on like work schedules and everything. But for the most part, the goblins who are Katie, they sleep in the same room. Me and Sam sleep in the same room, and then Kyle just rotates between the 2 rooms and the upstairs room because he has really bad insomnia and never sleeps. So, but for the most part, that's what it is. We also just like rotate through it. Like if Sam's working really late or whatever, Kit and I will sleep together.
You think they got like a duty roster for who's getting dicked?
Probably.
Like just right
Yeah.
up on the fridge?
Oh,
rotate
God.
and
Thinking
rotate.
of exactly that.
You do realize in front of kids, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Those kids are screwed like forever.
Hopefully, just figuratively,
Like
not literally.
Katie's.
But, you know.
Right.
You know what? No, we can't guarantee they're not. At this point, you know what? There should be a CPS button on Twitter where you can be like, "Hey, Elon, I highly recommend you send somebody to check on this people."
Yeah. Hashtag welfare check.
No.
I
Remember,
wouldn't.
this is TikTok.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
but
yeah, because that's the CCP, so
Yeah.
they don't give a fuck.
Right.
Wait, did you see this
Yes,
the
I'll do
thread that Paul Chato posted? I think his name is Paul. My name is Chato. Posted about TikTok.
Honestly, Kat, I have not
Nope.
because unlike some of us, I have been trying to stay off of Twitter for a little bit.
No, this is actually really, really good because it talks about TikTok here versus TikTok in China.
Oh, I did. I think I did see something like that, but it was probably a retweet of that, and they were talking about how the TikTok that we know, as we understand it here in the States, does not exist in China.
No.
No.
They
It's
make
a whole
ours
other thing.
degenerate on purpose.
Yep. So, but yeah, let's get through the rest of the sleeping arrangements here.
He's not here right now. They're visiting their family. So, like, Kyle's sleeping with Kit a lot. Or, like, Kit and I will probably sleep together tomorrow. You know, we just rotate through. But it just gets really hot if a lot of people sleep in one bed. So that's really why we don't do it.
Especially if one of those people is generating most of the heat.
Oh,
So Kyle and Kit, two guys, will sleep in one
Okay.
bed together.
Well, you know, you can do that, but you can sleep pole to pole or hole to hole, but never pole to hole. Just
That's
saying.
Or they're already putting the pole in the hole, and it just doesn't matter.
That's possible too, which means they're breaking the rules. But I'm
'Cause
just
is it-
saying, the rules are simple: pole to pole or hole to hole, but never pole to hole. That's it.
Isn't Kit the they, he, or he, they?
He, they, or they, he.
Yeah.
I don't know anymore. It hurts
I
my
don't want to
brain.
know before.
You know, Michael Jackson's pronouns were he.
Yeah, thanks for that, Sam.
Oh.
Thanks.
I can't.
You're going straight to hell for that. You know that, right?
Yeah, I'm going straight to hell for a hell of a lot worse than that, my man.
Doing their feet
Okay,
bacon to a
all
Jew.
right.
So,
You get
All
there
right, real
before I
quick.
do. Save your feet.
yeah. I'll say.
You know, I'm posting right now on Twitter numerous pictures of the corpus to get my brain off of this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, you know.
Hey, oh no! Don't even try
Remember,
to go
Kat,
there.
you signed up
You're
for
the one
this.
that bonded
So.
it.
Yeah,
You're the one
so,
that promised the link.
Carrie, shut up, real quick. We're gonna say hello to some people. We got Kohai, who has consistently made Larry angry for being first.
Kohai, good to see you.
I don't know if Larry's actually in the chat right now, but he was here earlier. Well, so 7-1 stopped by. He should be back later. Logical Spock, good to see you. Let's see who else we got. Boa is here. Sweet. Yeah, you know how he's here is because he's always giving me shit about like the time that we start. It starts when it starts, dude.
And we actually sort of started on time today.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was pretty close. I don't know. It just happens sometimes. Sometimes we get lucky. So Zeron, good to see you, buddy. Falk Zod. We have Yue Kagane here. Primal One. Good to see you guys. Shadow has finally showed up. You know what that means, dude. You know what that means. You're here. You're here, and I love you, man. But I gotta do it. $20 for $20.
That was a terrible idea. So,
Thank you, Kohai.
Yeah. Thanks to Kohai for the meme.
Too late.
Wait.
Oh, okay. There's Larry in the chat. She did not cheat. She just, has her notifications actually working on like half of the freaking. It's a whole thing. Anyway,
What did he say?
he called me a son of an undersized calamari. Has to do with the whole Eldritch space entity thing. So,
I might
but
have
yeah,
voted for Cthulhu for governor this election cycle.
Oh wait,
Right.
wait. Totally unrelated question. You've played God of War, right?
yeah.
Do you know the area with the purple dudes in the river?
I mean, not off the top of my head, but I probably remember
Okay.
that.
Because I'm stuck at them, and I don't think I'm supposed to be fighting them yet. They're level 4, and I'm like level 1.
Oh no! You see somebody whose level is that much higher than yours? Go level up first. Go level up
It's
first,
the
or you're
wise
just gonna
man knows
die
when
a
to
lot.
run like a little bitch.
Yeah.
Because
You know.
I did
Chow-
not want to stop, but
Yeah. No, definitely don't risk it because you're just gonna die over and over and over again. Actually, Maester Chow has beaten more of that game than I have. He actually beat Sigrun the Valkyrie Queen.
So I did.
It's the only thing I haven't beaten, but I mean, she's up there with some of the tougher bosses in gaming. So,
hey, this is
she's
my
like
first.
she's like the ruby weapon of God of War.
Yeah, except you don't have to go on until your party member's dead.
Yeah.
Can I at least say, in my defense, though, I am playing it on hard mode, and this is my first time playing God of War.
If you're not playing it on hard mode, are you really playing the game at all?
Oh, I agree. I'm just saying, when I do die a lot, it's because I am playing it on hard mode, and
You get used to it, or you won't.
yeah. No, I'm getting used to it. I love this game.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. So anyway, regarding the TikTok monstrosity that we just witnessed,
Oh, yeah. Just trying to.
that is the state of parenting in America today.
What was that?
It hurts my soul.
And you notice that she only brought up the kids. She didn't bring up the kids too much. She just said that they had them. She didn't say anything about, like the situation and all that stuff. And I actually appreciate her not giving too much detail about her children or their children or whatever's children.
Children.
They're land whale spawn, what have you.
Oh, God.
But it's just, I mean, these are the kinds of homes that kids these days are growing up in. I mean, like I'm not a traditionalist in a lot of ways, as far as I'm concerned. Like, though marriage is one of those things I think is important. Especially for a child to grow up in. You need a mother and a father. You need two people, who can provide what the other cannot. They balance each other out. They're necessary, right? When you get 5 or 6 people in a group, all of whom have confusing roles in the house like that. I mean, not leaving the sex out of the equation altogether. Who takes care of what? Whose responsibility is what? Who pays bills? Who cuts the lawn? Who does the dishes? Who, takes the kids to school and picks them up? That kind of thing. And I'm sure they've got some like weird way to working all that stuff out. But without having a clear understanding of who has what role in the house, your kids are going to grow up and not know how to fucking run their own lives.
Yep. Pretty much.
My other question is just, I mean, because they didn't really touch on it, but it sounds like one of the things that's been going on, we don't have adults anymore. We have children in adult bodies. These are not adults. These are not mature adults. I mean, the way they're dressed, I'm sorry. I know people wear all that stuff. You don't look like an adult. You look like a child. All of you look like a child.
Entire culture stuck in a case of arrested development.
Yeah.
I was surprised when they said they had jobs. So, and I was assuming maybe some of them were probably assuming being an activist is a job, but I don't know. I don't see adults there. I see people play pretending in their own little fantasy world, and they're dragging innocent children through it. It's delusional at best.
It belongs in a dungeon club while the babysitter, has the kids.
Right, but there's a reason that you have those kind of outfits in a false bottom in your closet. You don't leave them lying around where the kids can just find them. You don't wear them around them. You don't, if you're into something like that, whatever, but you don't expose your children to it.
Why does Daddy have a gimp mask?
Why
Do you know what a gimp mask is?
Why are Kyle and Kit sleeping in the same bed?
Right?
Oh, and then there's that.
Who's my mommy?
That's one of the
I knew
things
they were
that
going to ask that.
they're going to ask it. Every child is going to ask, "Who's my mommy?" Or who's my daddy? I mean, why do you think we have this whole thing where when there's a adoption, people often want to find out who their parents are?
Right.
Yeah. it's just I don't know. I see this shit and I weep for the future because it's bad enough that the up and coming generations, our Gen Zers are now of age to become parents, biologically and physically speaking.
And they
Yeah.
have no idea how to be a parent because they've never seen one.
Because they don't know how to be an adult either.
Because they've
No.
never seen one.
Yeah, and they it's just we're fucked. We're fucked as a society at this point. Look at just based on this. I know there are good parents out there, and I know there are young people who are kicking ass in their own lives and taking charge. I know that they exist, but I think the overwhelming majority, at least the ones that we see, look more like this.
I think something we need to confront as a society, and nobody wants to talk about it, is fatherless homes. In a certain community, there's like a 90% ratio of fatherless homes, and even in the white community, there's like 43% of fatherless homes, and that's drastically increased since like the 70s.
But that's because they're continually just ramming down our throats that, kids don't need fathers. Kids don't need fathers. No, you don't need a man anywhere in your life. Males are just, pieces of shit. The Y chromosome is going to disappear in 14 million years, which, I get that. But fact of the matter remains, they're doing everything they can to basically ostracize the male, gender out of fucking everything.
But on the other hand, you have little girls who want to become little boys. It's
right,
so confusing.
But these are kids that are having ideology shoved down their throats by parents who don't even know what the fuck they believe in.
Well, we as a society also let the government take over the role of supervisor of children, whether it be public schools or welfare. Because now the government's like, well, we'll just give you money to subsidize for a father. It's like, that doesn't subsidize the lack of a parental figure. It just doesn't work. You can't throw money at the problem and say, here you go. It doesn't work that way. I mean, I know that the world thinks it works that way, that like if you have all this money and just throw it at people, it's like everything's rainbows and sunshine, but it's crap. It's just crap. So, and we're learning that in real time right now because the whole entire world is in this giant recession. Like the whole entire world is broke. Seriously. And it's absolutely out of control. And we've made our beds and we've let these weirdos, and so now we got to try to take it back. And I don't know, maybe it's too late. Who knows?
Yes, me, I do think it's too late.
What's interesting is, though, it's the lack of fathers. Because, for example, in my case, my father divorced when I was 8. He did not want to. It was really difficult. But he did not remarry until I was like 13. So I was I was raised by a single father for several years, and he was a good man. Like, we had no television because no TV during the week. He would not get cable, and because he did not want to come home exhausted from work and just sit in front of the television. He would make sure to spend time with us. He also spent his weekends with us because he was our father. And at least I like to think that I'm not one of those, I'm not like them. I consider myself more responsible, but it's interesting how it's the lack of the father that's the important stabilizing influence here.
Right.
Yep. And there's a way, although divorce, generally speaking, I think should be a last resort, not the first option.
Oh no, my father was the last resort. It was
right.
Definitely.
I'm not talking about your father specifically. I'm sure that the situation is very different. But you look at it today. There is a way for a divorced couple to parent the child that they share without fucking them up more than the divorce already has.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You just have to be a part of their lives. You have to communicate with each other. You have to be on the same page.
Case in point, that's the story of my life. Quite literally, the story of my life. Because myself and my ex-wife co-parent our kids constantly. Everything is done, with the children's best interest in mind. Not, hey, can I get back at the other person like this? Or, hey, the other person's a pile of shit. It comes down to, they have two parents. They will always have two parents. I divorced their mother. I did not divorce them.
Bingo.
Well, you're lucky because my ex-wife is doing everything she can to make sure then it's not a co-parent. It's like, there's some things going on there that I didn't find out about until
See you
my
later, man.
son accidentally told me, and then he got in trouble for telling me. I was like,
Oh
Yeah.
God.
made it actually. She has a new boyfriend, and he said, "Mommy's friend." That's all he said. She flipped out, and now I know. Oh, there's somebody hanging around that I don't know about, and you don't want me to know about. Why not? And rant.
Yeah, I'm actually in a similar boat with you there, Carrie. With my ex-wife, she disagrees with me fundamentally on pretty much everything, and some of that I don't think she actually disagrees with, but because I think a certain way, she sure as shit not go along with it, and will fight me tooth and nail on every little thing, which is whatever. But I think it's doing more damage to our children than good. Overall, because they see how we treat each other, they see how we interact with each other, and it's not good and it's not healthy, and that's what they're learning from. That's their example.
Yep.
Whereas Chow, right, may hate the shit out of his ex-wife, may not, doesn't matter, because they don't present that to the children. That's not the face that they show to their children. They show that we are your parents, we love you, and we're in this together, and that's a hell of a lot more healthy, I think.
No, but all right, that made me just think of something. There are a lot of children who were raised, like you said, single parents, or parents working together, or problems between the parents. But most of these kids still grow up not with a polycule. I mean, we have reached a level of sexual deviance that is just. I mean, you can't even say, "Oh, it's because you're a Muslim." No, my God, there is a level of sexual deviancy in this society that just it's mind-boggling. How?
It's because we don't believe in anything anymore. We subscribe to ideology, but we have no real belief system in anything, in ourselves, in whatever. It's just ideology, and the cult of intersectionality, where we pin as many victim tags on ourselves as we can, and we say, well, I need to be given this, I need to be given that, I deserve this, I deserve that. You know what? I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. You deserve exactly two things: jack and shit.
No, well, Boa, I on the one hand they're happy, but that's the problem is the kids. That's the problem. The way they teach, what they're doing to kids, and in this case the kids. Yeah, fine. You know what? You want to have your polycule? No kids involved.
No polycules. I'm done. I don't. No.
And real quick,
that says a lot.
Yeah. Real quick here, Shadow. I think that Kat being a Muslim, and you being a Christian, that does give you like a basis, a code to build on. I am neither of those things. I'm a pagan. I have a wildly different belief system, but it is not without morality. I was also raised around Christians, and I did inherit some of their ways of thinking in certain terms. Like, I believe a person should get married once and only once, and I think they should stay married. I obviously failed at that. But I believe that there is right and wrong. I believe that evil is knowing the difference between right and wrong and choosing wrong deliberately anyway. And I think that's a very real thing. It isn't that they don't have a morality index available to them. It's that they are choosing to ignore it, like they would choose to ignore their conscience. Because it's out there. All you got to do is look.
They flicked that cricket a long time ago.
Well, yeah, I think it's not just a lack of morality. It's also this belief that came from around my generation. I wasn't a part of it, but this whole participation trophy generation that you're so special, you can do whatever you want. And it's like, well, some people took that literally, and now the real world doesn't give them what they want. Like it's they're always trying to like one up each other on the special scale. Like, well, I'm more special than you because of this. And it's like we're getting into Zer and they and whatever like all this garbage is. And it's like it's nothing but to make themselves feel better, because they're not complete people. They have no moral foundation. And quite frankly, so if you have no moral foundation in your mind, you can do whatever the hell you want. And we're seeing this on a mass scale. And I also think that we've taken consequences out of society, because, no offense, when I was in school, if you called somebody a name, you would probably get punched in the face.
Yeah.
they don't have that. I know I'm not advocating for violence at all, but
I'll do it.
sometimes kind of like what what's his name? Damn it, I can't think of it. Bill Burr said, he's like, sometimes when you're acting like a dick, you get punched in the face, and on the ride home, you're like, you know what? I was kind of acting like a dick back there. Maybe I shouldn't do that again.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
But now you have social media where they can scream all these words at you, which mean zero to anything anymore. And it's like there's no consequences for that. So you get this generation of people who hop into people's DMs and tell them that you should go off yourself because you're the worst person in the history of the world. And I'm like, you really need to learn about the world a little bit. I'll fly you to Iran if you want. I'll give you a ticket. So we're a coddled society, and it's very unfortunate. And it's affecting, it's affected part of my generation and going forward. And it's also even my parents' generation is pretty fucked up. I can admit that my parents' generation is fucked up. So
I'll say mine isn't, but then my father was an immigrant, and I begin to think that his, being Egyptian, he didn't deal with a lot of this insanity. No, it's just, it's also something that we were discussing in my live stream earlier, which is the whole, we were talking about TikTok and how we are glorifying mental illness. Everyone keeps talking about mental illness and how we need to focus on mental illness. I would say it's the opposite. We have become so, there are genuine people who have mental illness, but then we have become so, you go on TikTok and it is an advertisement for mental illness and how you want to have them. I don't want to go to the controversial ones like GID, which, by the way, 99% of the people who claim to have GID do not have it. Flat out, they don't. No way. But multiple personality disorder, which is something that comes up on TikTok, where they're like, this is the whatever of the whatever, where they're like, they're exposing multiple personalities. You don't have it, but you've convinced yourself that you have it because you want to have it because then you're special. Or the people who I go on Twitter and there are people going, I'm autistic and I'm neurodivergent. It's like, no, but you're celebrating these things. Whereas most people in my generation would go around and say, hey, everybody, guess what? I was diagnosed with this. And you know what? I'm proud of it. And guess what? I have this and I have that. That's why I normally am for freedom of speech, but TikTok has to be banned. The damage it is doing to our children it has to be banned at this point.
It nearly was.
And that either.
Yeah, it nearly was during the last presidency.
It isn't about the spyware. It is about what it is teaching children.
Aren't they looking into getting rid of it again?
I hope so.
I thought I heard that recently.
It's that time of year, man. They say all kinds of shit.
Yes, they do.
So, but regarding MPD that you brought up, which I don't think they call it that anymore, multiple personality disorder, but it is a very real thing. It's also extremely rare, and I guarantee if you think you have it, you probably don't. I have known a man with it, and it is very, very different face to face and in real life than what these TikTokers are portraying it as.
And it's not fun. That's the other thing. They portray these mental illnesses as something fun and to be proud of. And they're not fun. But they make it like, hey, everyone, I have GID. I'm so happy to have it. And I'm so proud of it. Because I'm not using the more controversial term for GID. It starts with a T.
Oh, that.
Yes. But I am sure 99% of the people, once they get caught in it, they're stuck in it, but they don't have it. It's not fun. Just like multiple personality disorder is not fun. None of this stuff is fun, but they make it because I don't even think they have it. They just want it because it gives them attention and it makes them special. And this is the last week.
It's the cult of intersectionality. They want to pin victim labels on themselves so that way they feel more deserving of whatever bullshit they try and pull off.
Well, and with good reason too, because that shit gets rewarded in today's society.
Yeah, which we need to stop that.
Yeah, the more victim medals you have, the more status that you have, and the more celebrated that you are. But the less that you have, the more you're relegated to third, fourth, fifth class citizen.
Yeah.
Well, I think
happy to be an Untermensch right this second. Thank you very much.
So what was that, Ryan?
I think I think what part of what kicked this off is that you have this is a couple years ago. There's that Twitch streamer. Her name is Sweet Anita or whatever, and she has Tourette's, right? And so and she's a very popular Twitch streamer because of what she's gone through. She plays a lot of games. She makes good wholesome content. She embraces her actual disability, medically diagnosed disability. Well, people see that, and like nowadays they're like, oh well, I had a shitty childhood, so I should be special too. And so they crave that. But the thing is, though, is that, like I said, they're always trying to one up each other, or they're always trying to take pot shots at each other too, because you'll lift somebody up, and as soon as you can try to kick the stool out from under them to be more special, they're gonna do it. And I think that's where something like this started. We went from people who should actually be like proud of and say, hey, you know what, that's damn outstanding, you've overcome a real issue, or a person who gets in a car accident, breaks their spine, and learns how to walk again. That's a feat in itself. But then you get these people who are like, well, I have anxiety, and it's like,
so do a lot of people.
yeah, it's like, that's
Hold
okay.
up. Stop. You said this girl on Twitch has Tourette syndrome?
Yeah, I this was a couple of years ago. She got in trouble. She got in trouble because she'll have outbursts. Well, the weirdo mob came for her. I think that's her name. Don't hold me to it. But she said the N-word on a live stream because your brain. And so anyway, they tried to come after her.
Okay. So her defense is strictly Tourette's, right?
I think it's something like, it's a more severe version of it. I know there's like a level above Tourette's. I can't remember. This was a couple years ago.
There's 4 levels of Tourette's. Where is she? 1 being low, 4 being probably.
I think she's got one of the more severe cases. I can look it up.
Okay.
You
know why I'm asking?
What's that?
You know why I'm asking?
I have no idea why you're asking. I'm assuming that there's a gotcha in here somewhere.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay,
Sam,
shoot.
Sam, you know?
I mean, not off the top of my head. I'm sure I'm going to feel stupid when you reveal it.
I have Tourette's.
Yeah,
okay.
I feel stupid.
So I'm kind of curious. I that's not a defense, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But it might be if it's a really serious, like level 4 case.
Isn't level 4 Tourette's? Isn't that like a degenerative criminal disorder?
No, it will never kill you. Worse, you'll get to suffer through it for the rest of your life. But you also probably need to be hospitalized at that point. So I'd like to hear more about her case.
Yeah, I'll definitely find it. Because
gotcha, by the way. It's just like a
I had a feeling you were going to say something like that.
What? Gee, with that kind of telegraphing, you didn't see it?
He didn't need a Tourette.
Pretty sure Ray Charles could have seen that.
He didn't need a. Born 1990. She's diagnosed with Tourette's, including the rare symptom of coprolalia at the age of 27.
Yeah, I just found that too. Yep.
Okay.
So,
all right. Okay. Let's move on then. She might be legit.
I've been around the internet a few blocks, so I had a feeling that's where this was going.
Well,
I couldn't remember if that was her name or not, but it is her name. That is who she is. So
yeah, I just found her Wikipedia entry.
Well, and the problem with the prevalency of this crap all over the internet and everybody saying I've got this or that or this or that is that it actually makes it harder to get help to the people who actually have an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, like you've got all these people out there just saying they've got something, and then you've got people who actually do, who might feel, you know, I mean, they're probably just sitting there going like, well, you know, nobody's going to pay any attention to me or get me any kind of help now because all of these other idiots are taking up all the space.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then some of us who have it but are fine, or functional at least, and then we're seeing you fuckers just faking it and making us look like fakes in the process.
I'd agree with that, absolutely.
the sweet Anita is probably going to get burned because of the actual fakes out there.
She's been around a long time. I think
Okay, calm
she's
down,
been
Kurt.
around since like 2016 or even
18.
longer. So she's been around for quite some and I think she was around before the whole incident in like
Oh.
2018, 2019. Because it's been a few years since she got burned for her little thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to. Oh, it is 2018. Okay, I'm wrong. Yeah, 2018 to present. Yeah, she had a big. I wonder if I can find the controversy about it, or if it's kind of like died down.
I'm gonna answer Boa here real quick. My bad math made me suffer at childhood. I'm sorry, man. I shouldn't have said. I'm not trying to make light of anything that you went through. You know that, but I couldn't resist the joke because I am bad at
Lean
math.
into it, Boa. Lean in.
I am bad at math. It's awful. I can't do long division to save my life. Just putting that out there.
I love math. I can do long division easy.
I hate you.
Well, your people invented algebra, so.
Oh yes, thank you. Yes, it's nice to know someone remembers that. It was a lot of work inventing algebra. I'm glad you guys appreciate it. We also
I wouldn't
invented
say
alcohol.
appreciate it, but
Yeah, like we're not grateful.
You should be. We also invented
job.
alcohol. You know, alcohol is an Arabic word as well.
It is nice that you guys invented something that you can no longer share with us. That is pretty cool. We appreciate that.
The thing is, if I want to be special and recognized, you want to know why? It's because I did something extraordinary. Like right now, I'm playing God of War. I'm playing it on hard mode. I want to be able to be like, yeah, I play well. It's not because I have this or suffer from that or I'm a victim of this. I don't talk about my own issues. All right. I got my own, but, ADHD is the most minor of them. But I don't want to boast or talk about them because I don't want attention. I don't want sympathy. I don't want pity. I want people to be like, damn, she's good. Or, when I was in school, I wanted to be the top student in my class. I would work and study hard because I wanted to be the best student in the class, not the, So I there's no pride. There's nothing to be proud of when you're like, hey, I got multiple personality disorder. This is the girl of the system or whatever.
right.
Oh, I can do this
People with
stuff letters too.
MPS don't know they have MPS unless an outsider tells them.
And I do know a person that is actually diagnosed with multiple personalities. I've actually met a few of their manifestations, as I like to call them, and they're actually a pretty interesting person. Well, persons.
You're not talking about the same person I'm thinking of, are you?
No, God, no.
Okay, because you know who I was talking about when I said that I knew somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole thing. Maester Chow and I, for those who don't know, go way, way, way back.
A lot further back than either of us would ever like to admit, but it's pretty far back.
That's only because we're old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Which one of you got the other one to climb the tree in preschool?
I mean, he pushed me out of one. No, we didn't. We don't go that far back.
No, but well over 2 decades. So.
No,
Yeah.
but it also is kind of insulting and belittling also to the people who genuinely do have these issues, because then you turn them into a joke or something that you're proud of or something that it's like, no, that's why I said again, I said earlier, people who actually do have these issues don't enjoy them. It's not fun. And yet they turn it on, especially on TikTok, into something fun or a game. MPS is not a game. GID is not a game. The few people who have it do not enjoy it. But you've turned it into something to be proud of, or something that's fun, or something for clicks. And it's like that person who's like, I'm a trans woman in a wheelchair. You are insulting people who actually need a wheelchair. It's insulting.
Yeah, well, and I think you hit it on the head in mid rant there. For the clicks.
Mm-hmm.
For the clicks. It's not even because it's fun. It's because it gets them attention, and on certain platforms, it gets them money.
Well, remember when everybody used to run around and be like, "Oh, I can't eat gluten," and it's like, why? Oh, I'm allergic to it, and it's like, are you actually allergic to? Because like all the girls were saying this. I remember this vividly. And it's like, are you actually like allergic to gluten? Like you went to the doctor and got diagnosed? Well, no, I just know. And I'm like, well, my father has celiac disease. He's been diagnosed with it. He gets violently ill. Like if he processes too much, he tries to, he'll violently get sick. And I'm like, so you kind of this, you need to be diagnosed with this kind of stuff. You can't just be like, I have this. It's like going, okay, sure. It's you can walk down the road and say you have a Porsche. Doesn't mean you have it.
Oh, that makes me want to tell a really bad joke. A really, really bad
Oh,
joke.
Me too.
So I'm going to go ahead and do it. Anybody who's got their sensitive ears on, you'd be wise to click off right about now. So what's the difference between a Porsche 911 and a pile of dead babies?
I don't have a Porsche 911.
In your garage.
Oh,
It's just jokes, YouTube.
And on that note,
We
unfortunately,
love you,
kids,
Susan.
I gotta go.
Mama Susan, don't come after us.
Yeah.
Oh
Hey,
God, because I was gonna say even worse. I was gonna say you can walk around and say you have a dick, but you don't have a dick.
that's true. So thanks for being here this time, Chow. We do appreciate it. You are missed. People do ask about you. Do you have anything upcoming that you want to talk about?
No, not at the moment. Everything's kind of put on hold. I've got some big irons in the fire in my personal life, so I'm kind of backburnering most of my internet stuff. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. I'll be here more often. I promise that. So I will hopefully see y'all next week, and you guys have a good night.
All right.
It was nice to meet you, man. Have a good one.
Yep, see you, Ryan. Carrie, we love you.
no, you don't. No, you don't.
Besides, it's not Carrie, it's Thug
My
McCoy.
mind.
Thug
No,
McCoy.
I don't see Thug McCoy there right now anyway, so he gets to be Carrie.
Yeah, she can call me Thug McCoy all she wants.
Fine. Whatever, back freckle.
I thought you were leaving.
I am. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
He's still here. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, that's those of you who haven't been around the whole time we've been doing this show. That's Maester Chow. He's a founding member of this stream. He's been here since episode 1. It's been a little absent lately. We're hoping to see him make a comeback. Any latecomers coming in? Welcome, Amanda. Good to see you. I think that's it for latecomers at the moment. Yeah. So anyway, we might have another guest arriving soon if she makes it. We'll see.
Is it who I'm thinking of?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. You know, I've been streaming that.
Oh, sweet. I have not been watching your stream because I do not want to be spoiled by it.
I don't blame you.
That's not fair.
Nobody's been watching those streams hardly. Zeron was there
Really?
for a little bit of it. The primal. Well, you know, to be fair, I usually do it in the middle of the night when everybody else is sleeping and I can't. But yeah, it's not entirely everybody else's. Yeah, I just I stream at weird times.
Okay, yeah, because I know it's highly anticipated, so that kind of shocked me for a second.
Yeah, I started it the day it came out. I put my first one out, and then I've done 4 3-hour streams since. I'm trying to limit myself to 3 hours at a time, otherwise I'll just not sleep ever.
Yeah,
You know?
I feel you.
But yeah, it's pretty epic. The mythology is all screwed up, but the story's pretty good. So,
I mean, the last game was a lot of fun. I highly enjoyed it. I thought it was a great story. So I'm looking forward to playing this one. I just don't have a PlayStation 5, so I might have to play it on the computer, which is not a big deal.
I'm running it on a PS4.
Are
I'm
you?
ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Oh, okay.
available on PS4.
Oh, I thought it was only next gen.
Nope.
No,
nope.
it's I was surprised. If you are looking for a PS5, some stores actually had for the day of release, the PS5 Ragnarok. Now, the PS5 Ragnarok, I was ranting on my live stream. It's a regular PS5. You don't even get the fancy ass controller if you buy the PS5 Ragnarok, and you get a digital copy of the game, but it is a PS5.
Oh, I hate digital copies.
Yeah, I hate them too. The collector's edition, the 2 different collector's editions, one's $200, one's $260, comes with a steelbook and a digital code. You don't get a physical copy of the game. You get a steelbook for the game, but you don't get the game. You just get a code.
They're
So
going to
you
be
get-
slowly moving towards that.
You get a fancy packaging that you can put on your shelf. It's worth nothing.
That has no game in it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, screw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Like I'm a weirdo. I other than Steam, I don't like digital copies. And I stick to that. Like I don't it also goes with the whole movies thing too. Like, they're changing like these Disney movies because they're problematic. And it's like, dude, I don't fucking care. I don't care.
Yeah, man, it's not just Disney doing it. It's happening all across the streaming world.
Yeah, and it's bullshit. And quite frankly, it's like gather up your physical copies where you can. Don't do anything digital anymore because they're gonna retcon and change a bunch of shit. So
I just picked up this week because I knew this is going to be problematic, and it was on sale.
The best Christmas movie ever.
Totally. And then I picked up this because I knew that this they were going to retcon it as well.
Are you excited for the new one?
No.
No.
What?
No.
What?
There's Carrie. There's a TV show coming out, and it's going to be awful. Warwick Davis is in it, but they cut his little balls off.
And then
you see the casting. It's very very modernized.
Oh God! Why?
One of them doesn't even necessarily. Let's just say you'll have a hard time identifying who they are.
No,
What do you
I
mean?
won't. I'm
They're
not
kind of androgynous looking.
Actually, Boa, Lady and the Tramp. Yes, I'm old enough to have seen that. But Lady and the Tramp is actually used in art schools in terms of the animation quality. It is held up as one of the highest examples of that. And if you watch that movie again, pay attention to the animation of the dog's movements specifically. It's dead on balls accurate to real life.
Cool.
It is gorgeously animated, and they don't do that anymore. That was all hand drawn, by the way.
Yeah, Boa, I'm actually old enough to remember Lady and the Tramp in theater.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
No, well, that reminds me of the video game Stray, which Jackson Galaxy. I don't know if you heard of him. He does the show He used to do the show My Cat from Hell. He was live streaming My Cat Stray because he's known for his cat behavior. And he's like, at one point about 10 years ago, he asked, "Can you make a video game with a cat?" And they were like, "No, the subtleties of cat movement, it's impossible to replicate." When they made Stray 10 years later, he was thoroughly impressed. He was going over like all the details of cat behavior.
Yeah. So so this was what Bo was getting at was they are editing out all the stuff involving the Siamese cats. We have Siamese, if you please.
Yep, from the Aristocats.
Yeah. No, this would be these cats were the twin Siamese cats in Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry.
We are Siamese, if you please.
Those
guys.
How do you remove that? They're like main
they were
characters.
moving from the Aristocats too.
Yeah, there was shit. I think it was the one playing the piano who had he looked very Chinese.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's the one. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good movie too.
It is a great movie.
Yeah. So, but I think that's what he was getting at was bringing up Lady and the Tramp. But yeah, even then, even the Siamese cats in that are gorgeously animated. Everything about that was beautifully done. But you're right. They're going to change all of that stuff. This is why you should preserve your physical media. I still have over 300 VHS tapes, all of which work. Some of them I've had since 1989.
What films are we talking about? Lady and the Tramp and what?
The Aristocats.
Aristocrat
Cats.
Yeah, they're.
Aristocats.
It's just like they're what the crows in Dumbo are problematic too.
God.
It's.
I thought Siam was Vietnam.
No.
I knew it was a different country and it had changed its name, but I was pretty sure that Vietnam's original name was Siam.
Vietnam's original name is Nam Viet.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting.
I did not know that either.
Huh.
That's
and
cool.
it is 2 words, by the way.
I mean, it's right next to Burma and Thailand. It's a tiny little area of the world. So
anymore.
Okay,
yeah, but I do have got Got lots of VHS tapes. They all work. I've got 2 working 4-head VCRs. Still in great condition. Preserve your physical media.
Sorry, bottles of hooch will do you so much more good.
I'm just.
I mean, UA's got a point.
Okay. UA's got a point there. Yeah.
That'll be good barter. That actually brings us back a little bit to the initial topic too. Is part of the problem with this, and I think it was Primal One who said so earlier in the chat. There are underage girls who are just waiting till their 18th birthday to start an OnlyFans. The prevalence of porn, the access to that industry, the fact that you don't even need to be involved with other people now to do it. I mean, like what we're doing right here is exactly the same thing, except we're not taking our clothes off. Like, you don't need anything to be out in the public sphere anymore except a microphone and a computer. That's it. So the prevalence of porn in this country has contributed, I think, massively to the situations like the polycule that we were seeing earlier.
I would agree. 1,000%. I would definitely agree. It incentivizes people to shoot for that kind of stuff. I mean, because I have a friend who she before COVID, she invited
a money shot, if you will.
Yes. Yeah. She invited me to go talk at her school one day because I've wrestled in WWE NXT and I'm on YouTube. Well, the majority of the kids either want to be wrestlers or they want to be YouTubers. And so that's what the kids are interested in. And all this social media presence, like that's all kids nowadays want to do. So as they grow older, you see people, even like Twitch streamers, girls in their hot tub streams. I hate them all, by the way. I laugh at them, but I hate them all because they are help. They're taking advantage of like 14-year-old boys who have their parents' credit card.
Yeah.
You remember I don't know if you guys are as I know Carrie's older than me, so we'll just discount him. But if you guys are as old as me, remember back in the day when we were adolescent, teenage, or pre-adolescent boys, we wanted to find porn. We had to go out into the woods and accidentally stumble across an old stack of Playboys from 1967.
Mm-hmm.
And it was such a treasure, and it was passed down from grade to grade. Like, you'd tell the grades who were below you that, oh, hey, there's this thing out there, but shh, don't tell anybody. And and that's where we got our porn at. And now it's everywhere. It's at the touch of your fingertips.
You can't escape it. There is porn channel advertising on YouTube in the it's the channel itself, and it'll blow you away just how easy it is to access that.
Oh shit, Carrie, you remember that channel that was up 2 years ago, and it was is it a dick or a something else channel where they'd have the guy and he had a sheet and that guy behind him was like, jamming shit up his ass and all that stuff. There's no age restriction on that. It's open to everybody.
Well, remember when they were doing naked yoga on YouTube?
Oh, I heard about that.
That was just like 2 years ago that they finally started banning that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's health and fitness, and I'm like, really? That's what you're going with?
I mean,
that's
a healthy looking punani.
Yeah,
just saying.
There is a rape scene on YouTube right now. No age restriction, nothing. You don't and
Jesus, really?
Oh yes, it's from the TV series Weeds.
I've never seen that.
I don't.
And be thankful that you don't know what I'm talking about, because I know a little bit about that.
I have seen that. It's been a minute since I watched that series, but I have seen it. I have a vague idea of what you're talking about. Yeah.
No restriction at all.
Well, that's one of my big worries when I stream on Twitch, because I don't want to be taking advantage of guys, it's harder for me given how I'm dressed, I'm hoping, but like, that's why whenever people give me, I don't want to take advantage of guys. When I live stream, it's because I play well, not because I happen to be a woman, but that's one of my biggest concerns.
Well, what you got to do, Kat, is you got to get yourself like a Doomcock-esque mask, right? And then change your voice to be like, "Give me your money."
I I mean, the only reason I even put a camera was because when I started live streaming, they were saying you need to put a camera to be more personable and approachable. But you notice whenever I live stream, there was this meme a couple of years, I think it was a year or two back, where it was like female streamer, and it shows she has like 75% of the screen is the camera and 25% is the gameplay. And then it's like male streamer, and it's the opposite, where 75% of the screen is the game and 25% is the camera. And that's me, because honestly, my priority is the game, not me. But I really don't want to take advantage of men, and that's one of my constant worries. That, yeah.
I don't think
Wow.
that, you know, though, a lot of that has to do with intention too, Kat. I think because you don't go into it looking to take advantage of people, you're just wanting to share what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So if that's, you know, that's the case, then just like, you know, if people want to donate to you, you just say thank you and move on. But, you know, you don't necessarily have to like shill for it. Like Amaranth, for example, who's like, hey, look at my boobies. Do you
Mhm.
like my boobies? Well, give me money and you can see more of my boobies. You know, I mean, you're not doing that. It's not the same thing. The intention is different. She is specifically trying to make money off of these dudes.
Whereas my intention is to show off my awesome gameplay.
Right.
I am actually playing God of War on hard.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. There's the difference. You know,
To answer Boa, I put body painting on Twitch, and there are some people who are doing it. I just don't know how far it's going to go. I don't care to click on it, but there are girls doing it. Oh yeah, this one right here says, "Turning myself into Ysera from World of Warcraft, live body painting plus chat, 18+ mature audience." So I'm assuming yes.
Oh, okay. So that actually has the 18+ thing on it.
Well, that's in the title. I don't think it's.
At least it's in the title. Right?
Yeah,
At
it is
least-
in the. But then again, some 14-year-old boy's going to go, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Hell yeah.
I mean, look, I
was going to say okay, just not as much.
yeah.
right. And you know, Primal One's got a point here too. Like you get that that risque
yeah.
stuff, that age restricted stuff. Yeah, there's an easy way to bypass that. Lie about your age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Please verify your age. And it's like going, okay, I'm 57.
Yeah. You know,
I
mean,
by
I have
entering, I certify that I am 18. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 kids and an alcohol problem, and I beat my ex-wife, but I can watch this.
right,
Like,
right.
What's
And
wrong with you?
it's and the problem with that is that like, so these kids are emotionally and intellectually immature, right? They just are, but they are also the most tech savvy generation that has ever existed.
Oh, without
They're not
question.
going to figure out how to get around parental advisories and controls.
Well, most of them is just putting in your age anyway.
Yeah. So
I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
It's the you know, I was just trying to get back to the original topic, but the porn, the degeneracy of it, the constant presence of it has numbed us as a society. We're just numb to it. Nothing shocks us anymore. And so people keep looking for that extra step, that extra, it's just like a heroin addiction, man. That the next high is never as good as the last one, but you're always hoping. And so people keep doing more and more degenerate shit, like say shacking up with 5 people who can't even figure out what fucking gender they are.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why rape and snuff porn are on the rise.
Yes, and incest.
Oh God, no!
You did not have to put that in my head.
No, it's not. They don't hide it. These people they don't hide it.
It's
They
actually,
don't hide it.
yeah, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, you do any quick Google search, the first thing that comes up, they are actually pushing that.
That was
The
actually
first
on
thing
the
that comes up.
rise during the pandemic. In 2020, the first year, that actually shot through the roof.
Oh God, why?
Probably because you got young kids stuck in the house with their sisters or their cousins, and I'm just saying.
But that's gross.
Yes, it is.
Not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But this is what we're talking about, Kat, is the total degeneration of our society, the total degeneration of it. You know, it's like I was talking to somebody the other day about, it might have been Shadow actually, but I don't recall. You know, somebody was, it was about democracy, you know, and they were just like, oh, well, you know, democracy is wonderful and great and all this stuff, and we should let everybody vote. And I said, even the Athenians didn't let retards vote, and they fucked kids.
Good point.
No, he's right.
And no, I don't think everybody should vote in this country. I think there needs to be certain parameters.
Yep.
There are societal norms that need to be followed. If you decide to, commit a felony and, rob a store, and I think you should have to appeal for that. Now, I understand people make mistakes, and I'm not somebody who's like, no, you can't ever, but this whole entire idea that we need to let every Tom, Dick, and Harry that crosses the southern border vote it's another morality thing. It always comes back to morality, because we have no morals anymore. We used to get it from like community. We don't do community anymore because most people don't know their goddamn neighbors. We used to get it from like religion. Most people don't. Look, I'm not knocking nobody for not being spiritual or religious or whatever. I grew up in a religious family. I have my issues with it. Do I still identify as a spiritual person? Yes. But some of my most religious family members are just uptight, judgmental buttholes, and they have been their whole life.
Oh, absolutely. And just to build on that just a little bit, one of our guys in chat here, who's here with us all the time, Bo Omega, he's not religious at all, right? But he is one of the most moral people I have ever encountered on the internet. He believes in an absolute line between right and wrong, and he holds to it. Almost with you would almost say, and he's going to hate me saying this, a religious like fervor. But it's true, man. He does. I'm not trying to start a fight. I'm just pointing out that the morality isn't necessarily, you do have to have a foundation for it. That's true. It doesn't necessarily have to come from religion. And I think Maester Chow was right when he said we don't believe in anything anymore. You have to have faith in something. I don't care what it is. Faith in yourself, faith in your family, faith in your country, faith in your God, whatever it is, something. And these people have faith in nothing. They don't even have faith in themselves. There's nothing to build on.
Yep. I agree.
So what's this? What are you sharing here before I bring it up, dude?
My only question is what to do. I mean, I don't care if you're an adult and you do whatever the hell you want. My problem is kids. And that's my only problem. When you are harboring kids, when you are putting kids in those situations. And honestly, I got really mad after the election on Tuesday. I came downstairs on Wednesday. I was pissed, and my dad was telling me. I was arguing with my dad. I'm like, look, I don't care about the adults. If you want to do whatever hell you want to do, it's about the kids. And he's like, he reminded me of a quote from one of the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad, and he's like, there's going to come a time when holding on to your faith is like trying to hold on to a hot coal. It's like there's nothing you can do at this point. Because I also had argued with some father who was talking about drag and how and you could tell after a while, I finally picked up that he took his kids to a drag event and he was trying to justify it. As like the very fact that you put in a sentence, drag story time is okay, or friendly drag show, that alone, just the very sentence is nonsensical. So I'm like, it's like talking to a wall, beating your head against a wall. These people are saying some of the dumbest, idiotic, immoral garbage, and nothing it should be blatantly obvious what you just said is stupid, and yet somehow they don't see it. So my father's like, we've reached the point where the only way is just to leave them to God. I mean, I wish there was something more to do, but I see these libs of TikTok videos and it breaks my heart. I saw that video where what they do with children. I mean, that video about the surgery that they do on little boys. And
yeah, thanks so much for sharing that, by the way.
No, but some woman underneath comment, she's like, my 13-year-old is having this next week. Yeah, you're doing that to your 13-year-old.
I think that's child abuse.
Oh, yes! It's state-sanctioned child abuse.
Mm-hmm.
What are we supposed to do? That's why I'm finally
order.
That's why I'm going to try and quiet down on these issues on Twitter, because there's no point. You're just a keyboard warrior yelling at moronic idiots who have no morals. They don't care about. How do you not care about kids?
I think the way to combat this is not to yell at them like they yell at us. It is to It is to live your life in a way and have conversations with other people who are willing to have said conversations like we're doing here. Obviously, not all of us believe in the same spiritual morality, correct? Like we all, you're Muslim. I would consider myself a Christian, but I'm not like into the insane point. I don't have to go to church every Sunday. I believe that I can be a good Christian on my own without having to have that label that you'll get at church if you don't go to church enough. Like, is because it's just as judgmental as the rest of the world. And so, and of course, you said that you're atheist.
No, I'm a pagan.
Pagan, thank you. Okay,
yeah, I'm a wildly
okay. So,
what's the word I'm looking for here? Irreverent polytheist.
Okay, and quite frankly, that doesn't bother me one damn bit, because we're all sitting here having a nice conversation. Nobody's yelling at each other, and that's what we need more of. And I think if the younger generation sees that, they're going to start gravitating a lot more towards that. Like, hey, these people are talking about some of the things that I've talked about. And then you got the weirdos. I have like these weirdos at school that yell at me when I say something that they don't like. And it's like, I don't want to talk to them. I'd rather hang out, talk to these people or in the community that they're generating, in the chat. And I think that's why YouTube is a good thing, because not just for society, but even on a political level, because, people should be able to talk politics without screaming at each other, and
well, that's how a society works. See, you look at the four of us on this panel here, right? Just discounting everything else. The four of us on this panel here are all very different people. And we are able to have this conversation without ripping each other's heads off, or, doing what I've seen so often in videos of protests of things that they don't like, where they just scream at the top of their lungs until they fall over.
Yeah.
Right. That's not society. That's not, civilized behavior.
Mm-mm.
It isn't. It's flat out not. It's the behavior of a 2-year-old who didn't get what they want.
But at the other hand, we have some basic things in common. We all agree on certain things, but I mean, when you are arguing with a father who, just the very sentence, family friendly drag show, that shouldn't even be a sentence put together. And if
just
you are
word soup, that's all it is.
When you are arguing with someone who is blindly, adamantly, absolutely sure that that it is appropriate to put your child in front of that, there's no discussion, there's no reasonable argument, there's no unreasonable. These people have their minds and hearts shut to everything. All four of us, we can all agree, drag queen story time is nonsense. There's no justifying it.
It's extremely inappropriate.
It is inappropriate. So no matter what, that's why I think it was actually Knowles from the Daily Wire. He's like, I would rather send, one of the guys from the Daily Wire was like, I would rather send my child to an Islamic school than a public school, because I know at the end of the day, a lot of them, what the Muslims are going to teach my child is more in line with me as a Christian than the public school. Or Sargon of Akkad, Carl Benjamin, at one point he's like, I have more in common. He's like, I could make it so much more difficult for you. I could convert to Islam. He's like, I have more in common with that. He's like, I'd rather be a Christian, a liberal, Christian like how he is, but he's like, but I can convert to Islam. That's the problem. There's no discussing with these people.
I think this is a good parallel right here. Remember, like, what, 4 years ago or something like that? The porn star Sasha Grey wanted to go read wanted to go a volunteer to school or something like that with the kids and stuff, and there's a big stink about it. I think that's a good comparison, because it's like, okay, it's like, let's look at the context here. Is this somebody who dresses up in drag on the weekend but wants to volunteer at the school to help the kids in a normal way, or do they want to walk in their drag outfit? Because, no offense, I would be okay if she wants to go read to the kids. She's no longer in porn and she walks in there normal, dressed like an everyday person. The 5-year-old kid is not going to know who she is. I can understand why the parents might have a problem. If she walks in there in what she used to wear when she would wear, be in those videos, now we have a fucking problem. So I think the context is the problem, is that you are hyper sexualizing these situations, because it's like, We need to make it normal so these kids understand what it is. These kids don't understand what that is. They don't know what the fuck is going on. And so it's not about a gay person or somebody who dresses in drag on the weekend. We wouldn't know that unless you advertise them as family friendly drag shows. So,
Right.
and I think that's where they're putting their ideology on these kids because they're like, they want them on their team.
Well,
It's
and there's no such thing as a family-friendly drag show. Drag shows are by definition burlesque shows. Burlesque shows
yes,
are about sex.
yes.
So, that said, actually, I've got a perfect visual representation of that. Once again, thank you to Kohai Maskus for really coming through on this. $20 is $20.
Am I right?
I don't even know if Shadow's still here, but
Really, Kohai?
yeah.
It just reminds me of that 69 for 69 thing with Jack Murphy.
That's where that came from. It was a whole.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
69 for 69.
I was telling Shadow that he needs an Xbox because when he goes away to college, he doesn't have an Xbox. So I was like, you need your own Xbox. And so we were joking about how he could get the money for the Xbox.
Yeah. So, hey, Carrie, real quick. I think, did you unshare your screen? I was planning on getting to that. We were just, conversing.
Oh. Give me a
What?
second.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah,
Look,
he's got to bring it back up again. So,
Of course I do.
look,
well-
you see what Boa is saying? I know about Viva Fry. He left Canada. He's in Florida now.
Yeah, I got to take a trip to Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrendous. That is absolutely horrendous. Canada is such a lost cause right now. I don't even know if Canada's going to come back.
Yeah, Bo's Canadian.
What?
He's,
dude,
you got to get out of that country if you can.
Yeah, you gotta get out of that country. I live in Florida, and I'm so thankful I live in Florida.
I wish I
My
lived in
grandfather had
Florida.
to say that if you don't like Canadians, that's okay. You're wrong. If Canadians don't like you, that's okay. You're wrong. You know who doesn't like Canadians?
Canadians?
No. Well, okay. That's
I mean,
separate.
me,
Justin Trudeau. You know who Canadians
oh,
don't
yeah.
like?
Justin Trudeau,
Justin Trudeau. Okay.
or as I call him, Lil Castro.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So,
All right.
all right.
I
Let's see
swear
what this
it's-
thing is.
It's appropriate for the public.
Oh no,
Some men.
you said appropriate. That's not appropriate at all, dude.
That's really.
I think for us, it's because we know what it means. But if like a kid were to stumble into it, they're like, "Yeah, what are you talking about?" Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
Like,
about.
what?
Oh,
A lot of people getting stuck in dryers for some reason. I don't understand. Why are people
Oh, that's pretty good.
stuck
I'm
in the
gonna-
window? Well, why were you climbing through the fucking window?
That is pretty good. It is.
That's bad. It's not bad, is what it is.
Right. I think though, if we could get our shit together as a country, which I don't see happening anytime soon, but if we
No.
did get our shit together as a country, we'd be doing Canada a favor if we just fucking annexed them.
yeah.
Honestly,
Let's go for
except Quebec,
No, yeah.
because fuck that place.
Why? What's going on in Quebec?
It's full of Quebecois.
everything.
Oh, the
Basically-
French.
Yeah.
Let me make it easier on you, Kat. Everything. Like anything that's wrong with France, multiply it by 1,000. That's Quebec.
Oh God.
Been a lot wrong with
Oh, no,
France
no.
for a long time.
But
Yes.
all you have to do is go down to the south and come up through the south, and they'll give you all of that. You don't have to worry. They'll even give you money and a cell phone and everything. Just come down through the south. Take a flight from Canada to Mexico, and then you're good to go.
Well, we have a friend on our Friday night
Learn
stream. His
Spanish
name's
first.
Commander Phil, and he's a Canadian. We're like, dude, just come to the southern border.
Right. He's a member of the Legion of Memers, is he not?
Yeah, he is. Him and Tom, the Rogue Attraction, are both members. We've had Horny Alpha on too. He was on last night. And yeah, but no, Commander Phil, he hates living there. He wants out so bad. We're like, dude, just come to the southern border. Just be like, ¿Qué? No speak English.
No habla inglés.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be perfect.
I really don't know.
And Mugsykins too. We need to get Mugsykins out of Canada. I don't know if she's in the
Oh.
stream anymore, but Mugsykins is also in Canada.
Is
Yeah.
Mugsy I didn't know she was Canadian. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's also a vet.
She was on last night also. Well, she's in the chat. She wasn't on the stream.
Yeah.
I will. I Muggsy, reach out to Sam. Sam, you reach out to me. I want to talk to Muggsy. Maybe I'll do something good with my life. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah, I don't think Mugsykins is in the chat right now, dude.
No, I don't think she is.
Oh well. Too late
But
now.
tell you what, next time I run into her on the interwebs, I will let her know that you would like to have a chat.
Yeah, something like that.
We did establish that Mugsykins could probably beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, I think she could beat the
So,
shit out of
wh-
all of us.
When I was in my 20s, right, I was an amateur cage fighter,
Damn.
right? And I mean
Impressive.
amateur, dude, like low end, seedy back alley circuit.
Oh, okay.
Like no, I mean we had an octagon and stuff, but it was like it wasn't
Okay.
you know,
Wasn't exactly regulation.
well, it wasn't. We didn't have the funds for a lot of the equipment, but yeah, and we weren't like on any like major circuits or anything like that. It was just amateur stuff. But
Okay.
you still get a lot of the same, excitement, except that it's all the betting's right in the room. It's not televised. So anyway, so I did that for a while, and I loved it. I have a number of injuries that have not healed correctly because I was not smart about it. But I did enjoy it. I was pretty good at it. I wasn't the greatest, but I have a very long reach. I'm 6'5", and I have an extremely high tolerance for pain, which is gets you into more trouble than you'd think. By the way, it's not as cool as it sounds. Because just because you can deal with the pain doesn't mean you're not injured. Just saying.
Yeah, good point.
And Mugsykins is a veteran and a woman. So I'd wager that she probably has better training than I do. I mean, I may have more like experience in actual fights, but she probably has better training than I do, and also boobs.
Oh,
just boobs.
They're distracting.
It's like that. And she's a veteran. She's a woman and boobs. It's just boobs.
Yeah,
so
it's like
fixed bayonets, but white. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So, and friendlier.
Well, depends on your definition of friendly. Fix's idea of a perfect first date is she throws you around like a rag doll. If you get back up and are at least decent about it, oh wow, okay, or really stupid and say, "Can you show me how you did that?" Like one jackass I know by the name of Carrie did. Well, basically, you're getting laid tonight, whether you want to or not.
So basically, if she kicks your ass and you're not a bitch about it.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Oh, by the way, Fix was Marine.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, and that reminds me, guys, to everybody out there in the world who hears this, if you were or are a veteran, and I know it's a day late, happy Veterans Day, and I appreciate your service. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I second that.
I third that. Though someone pointed out, and this was actually, and you know what? They made a valid point on Twitter where they pointed out that like no one's talking about it. Like normally there's Veteran Day sales, there's a big deal. I did not know it was going to be Veterans Day until Thursday, the day before. Like it was like, oh, Veterans Day's tomorrow. I was like, it is? Which seems kind of disrespectful. And I mean, because I commented, I'm like, we put more attention on, well, who you sleep with the month of June than something as important as Veterans Day, which to me is highly disrespectful.
Well, even like a Memorial Day, especially because
they just about forgot about that this year too.
So it drives me nuts that Memorial Day is just a single day, and you have Pride Month, and it's not just Pride Month anymore. There's like Transgender Awareness Day, and there's like all these different days that are sprinkled out throughout the year. There's like 36 of them, and I'm like, yo, are you kidding me with this? Like, talk about trying to make a group of people feel overly welcome. Look, I get it. They got a bad rap for a long time. It's understandable, just like a certain other group of people did. You got to let it go. Got to let it go. You can't.
Or at least tone it way the fuck down, because the history of Pride is a remembrance of the day that a gay community finally stood up and said, no, fuck you. We're not going to pay you to not bust us all up for nothing. And that was the Stonewall riot. The cops were coming in. They were looking for a bribe is what they were looking for. When the owner of the bar said, I've already paid, go away, the cops were going to shut the place down. No, fuck you, get out. And a riot broke out. And I'm not even joking. It was like a few hundred people between the cops and the rioters. A year later, everybody's like, yep, we're going to do the same thing. Okay, all right. You get that? We're going to remember what happened last year. Okay, I get that. But you don't have to have a fucking parade with everybody buck-ass naked.
That's losing the mark. That's losing the mark.
Well,
But
pride cometh before a fall.
On top of that, nobody cares. I hate to say this. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares who you sleep with. Nobody cares. That's the thing. There's no one cares.
Even more than that, Kat, nobody cared in the 90s.
Oh, I would say the 90s was probably the best time.
We were past this shit. We were a functioning society at large, mind you. There were still, elite douchebags doing their thing, but as a society at large, we were past the race thing. We were past the gay thing. We were past a lot of the religious stuff, although obviously 9/11 came after that and it wasn't great. But, we were making friends with our former Soviet enemies. We were making ties with China, which in retrospect was a fucking mistake. But it was, it was like we were building bridges, not burning them.
Mm-hmm.
As a society, again, not touching on, anything that the Clintons might have sold us over to the Chinese or anything, but we were past this shit. Tom Collins, I think, Tom Connors from Midnight's Edge actually brought this up like 2 years ago, in a lengthy rant that he had on Midnight's Edge. And he said, we were past this shit. Our generation was past this shit. We were a functioning society of people. Now, to be fair, I'm Gen X. We were the don't give a fuck generation. Part of this is on us because we didn't do anything to stop it. But we were also the ones who got along with everybody, who didn't care where you came from.
Yeah.
No.
I grew up in the 90s. I didn't see any of this crap anywhere.
No, me neither.
Like, and I'm not even gonna. I don't even really consider 9/11 to be against any group of people, because that's like trying to blame the Westboro Baptist Church, who are all nut jobs, or to try to condemn all Christians or Baptist people. Like it's crap. So it's like, or all the weirdos who have 87 wives, and they're practicing polygamists. It's like, I've known some Mormon people growing up, and they were a normal family. They just believed differently. Dude didn't have 4 wives. He didn't have 57 kids, like nothing like that.
Actually, I was raised Mormon myself, and Maester Chow, who was here earlier, is Mormon.
And Shad is from Night's Watch.
Yeah. He's also a Mormon. Yeah, and that's the thing.
Yeah,
The polygamy stuff is actually some offshoot groups that have been since ostracized. The official church's stance is that polygamy is against the laws of the land, therefore they do not practice it.
Yeah, it's all the weirdos. Like the weirdos everything up.
Yeah,
Shadversity.
That's the thing. It's like we were able to talk to people like we are right now who differ from us. Yeah. And get along and get through stuff, but nowadays everybody wants to be treated specially, like they're some kind of unique, significant snowflake in the cosmos that's a shining beacon for us all to look up to. And yet those same people want to place entire groups into boxes that they cannot escape from.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the fact of the matter is some Baptists are assholes.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely. I
The
grew up
fact of the
Baptist.
matter is that some gay dudes probably spend too much time around children. It ain't all of them. That's
No.
true. You know, and the
And-
fact, and when we go around saying that, you know, oh well, all Baptists believe this, therefore they're all bad people, or all gay people do this, or so they're let's put them all on a pedestal. No, they're all human, right? Human beings come in variety.
Mhm.
And the biggest thing you got to remember is that within any given demographic, there are always going to be assholes.
Yeah.
There will also be paragons. Most people will fall somewhere in between.
Sam,
Yeah.
you know I was in the military, right?
Yeah.
No, maybe. You know I was a bosun's mate,
Yes.
right?
You
know-
mentioned that, yes.
You know there's bad cops, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've worked
Okay.
with them.
In one in particular got profiled on Mike the Cop's channel for his illegal activity involving his wife and children. About 4 years ago, somebody that I knew who was a bosun's mate was also arrested for bad acts with children involving his skills as a bosun's mate. He was grooming them. There it is. He was grooming them by showing them by taking them out on a boat. He was actually pretty good about his method was actually pretty good from what I'm hearing. He also wasn't gay. Just saying.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh,
Well, look at that. Look at that. The U.S. gymnastics doctor who got caught.
oh God, that guy.
Yeah, who they figured out he probably molested like hundreds of girls, underage girls that were going for the U.S. gymnastics team competing. He would take them for their exam.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and he got away with it because he was
For years.
playing doctor, literally. Well, no, that's not a medical procedure. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Well,
I need to just check here. It's part of the examination. These girls are like, what? And they're not sure, and they never said anything until all of a sudden one was like, I don't think this is correct, and then it just fell apart. Yeah. So I mean, it creeps
get
come in
them
all shapes and sizes.
You get them. Well, yeah, you get them. There's cops. There's the BM2 I used to know. That doctor. So yeah.
Though they seem to be leaning very heavily towards the non-binary crazy-haired loons. I'm just gonna say we seem to be getting a lot of them.
In the chat, Larry Nasser. Yes. Yeah, I watched that documentary about him.
Because
go ahead.
The crazy hair loons, you get the cover of, well, I am trans, I am this, I am that, I'm whatever. I'm special, I'm exempt.
I'm sorry, but being non-binary is not trans. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Whatever. And
no. A lot of them, I think, are using that as an excuse to be a part of that. Because what's easier than to just be like, I'm non-binary, so I'm part of the cult.
And one of the people that calls them out the hardest, like worse, Blair White.
Oh yeah, no, I listened to Blair White.
Blair White's not it anymore.
Blair White's pretty awesome. He's a pretty awesome dude. This comes from Logical Spock just emailed this to me, and I think it was on point to relevant to the earlier part of the discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bothers the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Same.
So thanks for saying that, buddy. And yeah, that's I don't know. We talked about on this show too, in terms of like the drag thing and it being presented to children. And first of all, I'm going to say something real PC here. It's a fucking recruiting drive. And that said, that's the reason for the rainbow shit. It isn't about inclusivity. It's because kids like colors.
Oh my God, you're right. That actually makes sense.
It's because kids are drawn to bright colors. it's hey, you guys who've been around for a while, you remember the Pride Apocalypse pony?
No.
I don't think I've heard of that.
No,
Do I
let me-
want to know?
I'm
see
with
if I
Kat.
can. Let me see if I can find it.
No,
What?
you don't have to remind us. You don't have to.
I know I don't have to. I know.
I am already
Carrie.
really, really depressed about all of this. That don't.
I'm aware that I don't have to. The only thing I have to do is die.
Yeah.
You don't actually technically have to do that either.
Well,
Yeah.
we're all gonna get there one day.
I hope
see.
sooner rather than later at this point.
Oh no, I'd live to
cryogenics.
150 if I could.
Cryogenics, Ryan. I'm just saying.
Oh, as soon as they perfect a bionic cart, I'm getting one.
Or
You know what?
space
Actually,
maybe.
I
Heart
don't have
disease.
it pulled up, so we'll just skip that for now. So you got lucky.
We did.
I'm gonna Google it myself. I'm curious.
So, yeah, it's I don't think it's actually called that. What it was like a My Little Pony thing, but it was done up like it was skeletal, and it had rainbow flames for like the mane and the tail and all that shit.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
very poorly drawn,
It was
but
shit.
like part of the reason that they used that image, like I think it might have been a critique on the whole thing, but kids are drawn to rainbows. They are drawn to unicorns, which is hilarious because mythologically speaking, unicorns are drawn to little kids too.
Oh, that's just creepy.
They
And
used to
yet,
use like
really,
the virginal
unicorns
and the
hate
innocence as
humans.
bait.
Yet real unicorns hate humans.
Have you met a real unicorn?
I've seen photographs of real unicorns, and so have you.
I've seen people claiming that they identify as unicorns.
No,
I mean,
not talking about that.
you talking about like an 8-foot horse look like a creature that has a narwhal horn growing out between its eyes.
I can tell you that there is an actual creature that is the unicorn, and you don't know it by that name.
The unicorn of myth.
The unicorn of myth, if you want to call it, if you want to put it that. The
I'm gonna-
rhinoceros.
Oh yeah. All right. That's not quite.
No, that is that.
I have heard that they
rhinoceros.
took stories back from the creatures that they encountered in Africa and they exaggerated them and whatnot. And yes, there's a school of thought
Poorly
that,
described.
explorers from Europe thought of the rhinoceros as a unicorn, but that's the stories of the unicorn predate the explorers, from Europe going to Africa. They talk about them being left off the fucking boat, dude.
Left off the what?
Noah's Ark.
Okay.
You know? They're mentioned in the Apocrypha.
I don't know if that being mentioned there, but okay.
So.
The Apocrypha. I've never seen an Apocrypha.
The Apocrypha
yes,
is all
I
the
do know
shit
what
that got
that is.
left out.
I
Okay.
don't
Yeah,
know.
I know what Apocrypha
Anyway.
is the book of stuff that got left out
Yeah.
of the Bible.
Anyway, point being, the reason I brought unicorns up is that in the mythology, unicorns are always male. They're symbols of virility, and they are always attracted to youth, innocence, and purity, which is why they used virginal maidens, usually prepubescent ones, as bait to catch the damn things.
And kill them.
That's different.
I think that there's a reason that term has cropped up again in certain sexually oriented circles.
Yeah.
Okay. I am totally disgusted even more. I never liked unicorns, but that's probably because I remember seeing a horse taking massive poop on the streets, and I don't like horses, so I don't like horses, which ties me to unicorns. I don't like unicorns. I don't like rainbows because I just don't like rainbows because they remind me of unicorns.
A woman that does not like horses.
I hate horses. I think they're disgusting.
This is a new one. Okay.
I think they're
Yep.
disgusting. They poop on the streets, and there's nothing special about it except, oh look, I can ride on the horsey. Oh, who cares? It is an extremely, excessive amount of work for a thing you can ride. There are so many other things that you can ride that are easier to manage than a stupid horse. You have to feed the thing. You have to clean out its poop. You got to clean its shoes. You know what? If I want something that moves fast, I can get a Jeep.
Next
Or a
Friday night,
motorcycle.
Right.
Next
or a
Friday night,
scooter,
Go ahead,
or a
Ryan.
helicopter. Look
I was
at
just gonna-
horse.
I was just gonna say next Friday night I'm changing your name to Cat Hates Horses.
I
Yeah.
hate horses with a passion. I think they're
I'm
disgusting.
curious. I'm curious about something, Kat. Is horse meat haram?
I don't know.
You should check that out because you might actually like horse.
No. Well, horse meat is not horse.
Actually, it should be.
Actually, no. Actually, it shouldn't be.
On that statement.
Yeah, actually, no. Here it is. The
Okay.
majority of scholars are of the view that horse meat is halal. Other scholars are of the view that it's disliked to eat horse meat. I think the reason, now that I think about it, Islam, the type of meat you're not supposed to eat are things, for example, animals with claws, so lions, tigers, or birds with claws, like falcons. But on the other hand, chickens don't count.
Chickens have
Horses,
talons.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's why I'm not sure exactly about the whole talent thing, but I do know claws are an off limits one. So like cats, you can't eat cats, dogs, lions, but animals with hooves you're allowed. I think the only reason that some people have frowned on eating horses is because it is a practical animal that you can use for other things. But also
Right.
they eat camels in the Middle East.
And I don't know why. I've had camel. It's fucking awful.
I don't know. That's why I'm surprised because I've heard like at the time of the Prophet, everyone, damn it, this stupid thing doesn't work. They ate.
Cat and her mic issues.
I can never get this stupid thing to
It's a
work.
weekly thing.
Yeah. But no, I was just curious if you could eat horse because I've had horse and it's pretty good as meat
I
goes.
could have died not knowing that. Much happier. Thank you.
No, but that doesn't mean that they're any less disgusting waste of space animals that I would not want to ride. If you were to be like, "Hey, cat, do you want a horse?" No, I'd rather have a
Practical
Jeep.
animals.
That's why I said maybe they'd be better off wasting space in your belly.
Yes, fine, food. I don't mind them as food, but you know what? I'd rather have a Jeep
Okay.
or a motorcycle.
You'd rather eat a motorcycle than a horse?
No, I want a
You can-
helicopter. Something.
You'd
Why am I
rather
gonna
eat a
waste my time?
helicopter.
Still can have a horse and a helicopter.
I don't want a horse. It's a waste of time. You gotta feed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, you gotta scoop out its poop, clean its hay. It poops around itself. I mean, it's
Yeah.
disgusting. At least my cat goes to the bathroom in a box.
You
Doesn't
know,
sit in her poop in her bed.
you know, Sir Terry Pratchett has actually talked about horses in his Discworld novels. Which, by the way, if you guys have not read those, check them out. They're some of the best
No.
best reading that you might find. And he talks about how horses are all half crazy, all of them from birth. They're all half insane, and you can tell by looking in their eyes that they're kind of not all there. The reason that he surmises that they're all half crazy is because they have too many knees to figure out.
They have 4.
Okay.
Well, they've got like 6. There are like 2 knees on each back leg.
There are.
Which book was that?
What?
I can't remember which one it was. I'll
I
have
could
to look that up. But yeah, he did talk about horses being half crazy and having all those extra knees. And if you're always concentrating on how many knees you've got and keeping everything working, then you don't have time for anything else.
I could swear I've read all the books except Hogfather. And I don't
You haven't
remember.
read Hogfather?
I have not read Hogfather.
Oh,
I
man,
will
that was-
not read Hogfather.
Why not?
It is a Carrie thing.
Okay. All right. I'll leave it at that. But still, awesome book. Great character development for Susan.
I own a copy, but I will not read it.
Boa, that's too much. That's too much thinking. That's like what I was doing yesterday with Wakanda Forever and this. How can they breathe underwater? And the city sank, but somehow a lot of the people didn't die, and everyone's looking like, "Cat, you're overthinking it."
Yeah.
Or it's also just it's a movie.
Right. Well,
Superhero.
we also
Superhero.
have evidence today of places where salt water meets fresh water, and the two don't actually mix.
San Francisco Bay.
The Mississippi Delta.
Actually mentioned in the Quran or the Hadith. I can't remember which. The spots. I think it's the Quran where they mention where saltwater and freshwater meet. I can't remember the exact details, but I remember my dad saying it was some big deal that the Quran actually mentions it.
And there's a particularly spectacular one in northern Africa somewhere. It is literally blue water, and then it is brown water, and it's like about a half an inch of transition through that area. It is absolutely incredible. And I can't remember which is which. whether brown is the fresh or salt, it is an incredible sight. Oh, I wish I'd known we were talking about this. I would have found the picture for you.
Yeah. Just got an email from a certain possible guest. She may be joining us here in a minute or not. You know, I was going to mention this too, Kat. How is it that the two Muslims I spend the most time around on the internet are both women and both identify with some form of feline?
Uh-huh.
Because the other one is the exiled lioness, and you're the hijabi gamer cat.
Well,
Oh.
I've always liked cats. I mean, come on, before you even met me, my gamer tag was Feline Revolution and Feline Uprising.
Right. That's my point. She likes cats too.
Is she Arab? She's Arab. So it's an Arab thing. Arabs like cats.
Maybe that's it. I mean, in your case, I kind of get it because you're also Egyptian and you people used to worship cats.
Isn't there a prohibition on dogs in Islam?
It depends, first of all, on the person you're talking to. It is complicated because, for example, my uncle Ismail and my aunt have dogs. There's some Muslims who are more strict about it. On the other hand, if you go to Egypt, there's one big problem in Egypt, and this is something that my father brought up, and that is Egyptians mimic Americans. The problem is they don't. It's sort of like, you're watching something on TV. So you're watching American TV. So, for example, they see Americans have dogs, so they want dogs like the Americans. The problem is they don't understand half the responsibility of having a dog. So, for example, a lot of them don't get their dogs fixed, or they don't understand that your dog shouldn't run around the beach pooping all over the place. Or actually, one of the worst experiences, my cousin Ruba is afraid of dogs, and me and her were in my grandmother's summer house area, and this dog comes up to us and starts snarling and barking at us. Now, I'm not afraid of dogs, but this dog had no collar, no nothing on it. So I was terrified too, because I'm like, oh my God, this dog could have rabies. Turns out it belonged to one of the neighbors, but they just let their dog run around with no collar or anything. So they don't understand. They see Americans having dogs on TV and they go, oh, let's be like the Americans. Let's do things like the Americans. And they don't understand the full responsibility that is involved with owning a goddamn dog.
Yeah. Potbelly pigs are even worse. That's why we eat pigs and we don't keep them as pets.
They don't keep them as pets in Egypt, thank God.
They do in China.
Yeah. No, it really, really varies. Like, there's some people who think that a dog cannot enter the home. One of my relatives on my mother's side has a dog, but it's because they were living in a very dangerous area, so they wanted a dog as a guard dog. Honestly, my brother sometimes brings his dog when he comes to visit, which, look, the dog is sweet, but that dog freaks my poor cat out, so the cat has to stay in one room, and she hates it.
Okay.
So for the 2 days or so it really, really depends on the Muslim. My uncle Hussein is very strict about not having dogs, but the most important thing is you should not and cannot treat an animal with cruelty. Islam forbids you from treating pigs with cruelty, dogs, cats, any animal. Even if you're one of the people who doesn't like dogs, you're not supposed to torture or mistreat a dog.
Yeah, I assume that that includes unintentional neglect, like you took on a responsibility that you just don't have the time for.
Yes. As for me, for example, on the day we believe in the day of judgment, where you will be stand in front of God and be judged, and for example, in my case, my cat will stand as witness. She could either say, oh, she treated me with cruelty, or she treated me with kindness and mercy, and
Oh man, I'm so screwed. There are apex predators who are going to stand before me in judgment and be like, this guy relished eating me because I did. And I would do it again.
Nope, but you didn't torture the animal. That's the thing. You didn't torture the animal before you killed it. Did you go around spiking it, slowly killing it slowly before you killed it and ate it? Or did you kill it?
No, you kill it as quickly as possible.
Yes.
These apex predators, they will try to kill me first.
That's the thing. It isn't about whether you ate it or not. It's the fact of how you treated it before you did, because Muslims are not supposed to be vegetarians. You're not supposed to. There's the thing, la taharama ma halala. You do not make haram what God has made permissible for you, which is why technically
Yeah, no, see, in the case of like these larger predators, right? It is a matter of killing them before they kill you, and you do that as quickly as possible, because the longer that goes on, the less likely you are to come out the winner. But sometimes it is a fight.
And the lion gets it. If you don't kill me, I'm going to kill you and eat you. So, and you did it quick and clean and okay. Hey, it's a game. I'm playing a game here. You won the game. All right. He's a decent guy. He won the game, but okay, he's a decent guy.
No, but it's also about not treating the animal with unnecessary cruelty and inhumanity. There's a story of a woman who was traveling through the desert. She was a prostitute, and she was thirsty, and she was slowly dying of thirst, when she came across a well. Now, the bucket from the well was broken. It was not there. So she climbed down and drank from the water. When she climbed back up again, she found a dog also dying of thirst. She climbed back down again and used her leather shoes to bring water up for the dog. The prophet said that this woman, she will be in paradise for the mercy and kindness she showed to the animal. And this was a dog. On the other hand, another woman, he told the story of a woman who owned a cat. The cat was not allowed to leave their home. On the other hand, she did not feed the cat, and the cat slowly suffered and died. That woman will be in the hellfire for treating an animal with brutal, unnecessary cruelty that led to the animal's death.
Yeah, that's pretty
All right.
fucked up.
So I got a scenario for you. I'm curious
My
about.
apologies.
Obviously, I don't subscribe to Islam, so it's a little different from my perspective. But I would be curious what your thoughts are on this. So, back when I was married, my ex-wife is a very conscientious person. A bit of a green freak. Doesn't want animals to be harmed. Doesn't want the environment to be harmed. All that sort of thing. Which I was fine playing along with. Now she got it into her head that glue traps were better than the snap traps in terms of mice and rats. I disagreed, but I went along with it. I only ever caught one mouse in the glue trap. And it was one of the most horrible experiences for me because obviously she wanted me to trap the mice and get rid of them, but she did not want to see it or have anything to do with it. She wanted the man of the house to take care of it. So I took care of it. I did. And I found the mouse in the glue trap hours after it had gotten stuck because I was not home the whole time. Still alive, still struggling, scared to death, shitting and pissing itself in fear. Right. So I took my pocket knife out and I put an end to it. And I did not feel good about it. I still don't feel good about it. And I think it would have been better had it been a snap trap that killed it like that.
I think the snap trap would be better.
Prefer.
Though Boa, that's the thing. They should be treating children like that. One of the things I keep telling is that a lot of people who call themselves Muslims do not act like Muslims. For me, one of the things that actually further confirmed Islam for me is the fact that you cannot even treat an animal with cruelty. If this is a religion that tells you not to treat an animal with cruelty, you should not be doing the same for humans. And that's one of the things that I find really frustrating about a lot of people, especially in the Middle East, because they do not understand what Islam is about. And one of the key things is you do not treat people, animals. I mean, when they went to war, the prophet gave rules on how combat should be done. You do not cut down trees. You do not kill people who have set aside their life for religion. So you do not kill priests or clergy or monks. You do not kill animals in war because animals are innocent. You do not chop down trees. If they stop fighting, you stop fighting. You don't continue to fight. If that's why whatever happened on 9/11, that's not halal. So that's why I keep saying a lot of people who call themselves Muslims do not behave as Muslims. They use the religion for power, for their own gains, instead of what the religion is actually about. They also think of the religion on a very superficial level. They look at it and they don't look in further depth to what the religion is about. Like, for example, just the simple fact that you don't treat an animal with cruelty should tell you that you shouldn't treat your children the same way either. On the other hand, you should discipline your children.
Sure. But on that same level, like you said this was weeks ago, but one of the things that you brought up was that, it's possible that, because you hear people say like, oh, well, they're not a Christian because they don't do this, this, and this, even though they say they're a Christian. And what you had said to that was like, well, it's possible just to be a bad Christian or a bad Muslim.
Yeah.
And again, this goes back to painting an entire group with one brush.
Yeah.
Like now there are going to be good Muslims. There are going to be bad Muslims. Most people will probably fall somewhere in between like everybody else.
Yeah. They're still human beings and they do a lot of stupid stuff. Like he said, see a Muslim man upset that someone cleaning a church has water landing on his window. That's just a guy being a jerk. That's not even about him being a Muslim. That's just someone who's being a jerk because he's pissed at someone. Yeah, that's just someone being a jerk. Plain and simple.
There's always an asshole out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and there are a lot of them in Islam as well. There's a lot of Muslims who are assholes all the time.
It's always the most extremes that paint a face over something. I mean, look, we went from what, Al Qaeda to ISIS to what, there's ISIS K now, and there's like all these different offshoots of weirdos, and that's all that gets glorified. I mean, if you plopped a normal, a very normal, love it, because I've met, other than Kat, I've met actual Muslim people. They're very, very peaceful, very, very kind, but if you plop them down in like the heart of Alabama and like some of the craziest, like, backwoods people, they're like going, oh my God, is this how all Americans are? It's just, it's like it's the worst stereotypes on each side. And that's what, it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah. UA, we're not going to talk about that speech. And you're absolutely right. Well, that was another big misconception about the United States, is people outside of the United States don't have any concept of how big this country actually is, and how varied, not only in geography, but in its people, that we actually are. Alabama is not like Wyoming, is not like Wisconsin, is not like Florida, is not like California, et cetera, at all. You can't just judge it from one place. So like there are other countries in like Europe, say Liechtenstein, which I think is like 60 miles by 30. Right.
I mean, I've been to the backwoods parts of Alabama driving through before, and I'm from Colorado. I'm very much very used to the country life and stuff like that. And they're a whole nother breed of people. I was just like, whoa, like, these are very, 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 very God-fearing people, and almost in the worst way. They're very staunch in their beliefs, but they stick to themselves. So I mean, it is what it is. The United States, it literally is the size of Europe.
Yeah.
It's the size of Europe. So, and then I love it when people in Europe are like, well, the United States has all these shootings and stuff. It's like, I just can't understand why. And it's like, because the United States is the size of Europe.
Yeah. And then Alaska's like, though, let me just say about what Boa was saying. One of the things is so if someone's immortal soul, the thing is, and this is something that I made a YouTube video about, which got me a lot of hate on Odyssey, and that is, we are not supposed to judge people. I don't know your fate. So if you were to come to me, if Riot or, if Samuel or any of you were to be like, do you think I'm going to hell? I'm not God. That's what I've told people. I'm not God. Even the Prophet Muhammad said he did not know if he was going to heaven or hell. We don't know. There's a story of a man who killed 99 people. He went to a holy man, a priest or a clergy person, I don't remember exactly. It said, if I ask for forgiveness from God, will God forgive me? The clergyman said no. So he killed him. That's number 100. Then he goes to another person. He says, if I've killed 100 people, will God forgive me? He's like, yes, but you're living in a very bad place. I highly recommend you move to this city where people are good and they will be a good influence on you. Halfway on his way from one city to the next, he dies. Angels of heaven and hell are fighting over his soul because they don't know, because he killed 100 people. On the other hand, he wanted to be a better person. And so God said, if he's closer to the good city, he goes to heaven. If he's close to the bad city, he goes to hell. Then God moved the city so the man was closer to the good one. So he was going to heaven. No one knows what's in a person's heart. I don't know what's in your heart. I don't know if you. That's why I personally will. And Muslims aren't supposed to. A lot of them do. A lot of them will go around saying you're going to hell because you're not a Muslim. Muslims aren't supposed to do that because you do not know what is in a person's heart. You do not know what they're going to do in the next couple of years. You just treat people well. I mean, Muslims aren't even supposed to be missionaries. They're not supposed to go around converting people. You're not supposed to, because you can't change what's in a person's heart. I could go up to Riot, hold a gun to his head, and you say, you have to convert to Islam. Well, he'll say it. He'll be willing to say, yeah, I've converted. But in his heart, he hasn't. So Islam isn't even supposed to have missionaries. What we're supposed to do is just behave like good people. If anybody goes, hey, that crazy Muslim woman online, she's actually pretty interesting. I wonder what it means to be a Muslim. And then they start looking into it. That's different. But that's why this whole thing about I have no idea where anyone's going, because you don't know what is in their heart, what is in their soul, what they're going to do in the future, what changes may befall them. Someone who at one moment appears to be a really, really good Muslim may, at the last years of his life, do some pretty horrific things and end up in hellfire. So that's my response to that. We don't know. and it's not, and I'm not God, so it's not my place to judge you. And none of us are God, and it's not our place to judge.
I think that's reasonable.
Mhm.
And as to this, I'd say it's probably pretty much like trying to be a Christian in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You know, but that said, hey, Carrie, did you want me to share your screen, or were you doing something else?
I found that water, fresh and saltwater
yeah.
meats. Yeah. Give me a
Yeah,
second.
yeah, I've seen that. That's cool.
Heavier and sink to the bottom of the ocean, making the water become clear. So where it may appear like an impenetrable...
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so that wasn't much, but that was
Yeah,
it.
but it showed like the clear divide. Yeah, they don't mix. That was pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me get back to where I'm supposed to be now.
So,
Ryan,
Yes.
all those Euros running around saying, "Oh, our countries are so safe because we have gun control." They're fucking lying to themselves, and then probably maybe just to themselves, maybe just to you, maybe to themselves as well. Europe is just as violent, has just as many, just as much gun violence.
Yeah.
I said violence, not, but anyway. But because of the interesting way they record crimes in Europe, they say they have fewer because they count convictions, not the actual act.
Okay.
In the United States, if I call the cops and say there's a fight going on, or a gun battle at the market down the street, right? In the U.S., that will be counted as gun violence. In Europe, if they plead out, or they this or they that or something else, doesn't matter how violent it really was, it gets counted as what was convicted for. So that's, and Dave Koppel did a great expose on this phenomenon. Basically, it's Enronian bookkeeping for crime. And I always get fucking pissed when Euros say, "Oh, we're so much better than you."
Besides, they have a lot of knife violence, from what I hear too.
Well, they also count putting the gun barrel in your mouth and pulling the trigger, which is about 2/3 of firearm related deaths.
Yeah.
And in Europe, they count those as suicides.
Speaking of the knife violence, especially in the UK, have you guys seen the knife angel?
The what?
What's that?
Oh God.
The statue in I think it's in Wrexham, and the statue is made from knives.
That's
All
wild.
of them knives. Every one of those knives has been used in a homicide.
Holy shit!
God damn.
Yep.
Or an attack of some kind. And it is this is a plea for help.
Holy cow.
This is in the UK, and they want to come down on us about the fucking guns.
And all of those knives blades were in 1 year.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
For a country the size of what is it, New York?
Yeah. I think most of this was just in the London area.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And it's and it's a statue, it's a memorial to all the victims, and it's a plea for help.
Wow.
And it's
That's wild.
and it's
I've
sadly,
never seen that.
For a thing made from death, it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
That's something.
You know, I my taste runs to the bleak and the cosmically horrible. So
yeah. Whereas I'm
you know,
psychopathic.
But I find this they took something that was just awful and they made something else out of it, and I do appreciate that about it. But yeah, this is an example of European violence that it's every one of those blades was in a person at some point.
That's just so messed up.
Yeah, I've never seen that. That's wild.
It's actually that crazy.
They put that up, I think 2 years ago, because the first time I saw it, it was still in a warehouse, I believe. This is the first time I've actually seen it up where they put it out on a display for the public.
It's been made though for several years now, because
Yeah.
it was made before the pandemic. Well, it was made. They were working on it before the pandemic. I don't know if they finished before the pandemic, but yeah.
Ooh, I think I might have a guest.
Oh, whoo, kitty.
I might have a little guest.
I'm trying to restrain myself from the obvious dirty joke here.
Oh,
And
you need to mute yourself.
there she is.
Oh wow, this is the first time I've ever seen your cat. To be honest,
I'm trying to teach her to come for treats.
It's not helping.
I know it's not helping. Say hi. Come on, show your cute little face. There you go. Hey, come on. Hey, somebody asked on Twitter.
Ooh,
Oh, I
yesterday,
choked on my giggle.
Hey, be nice to the cat. She's shy. She's camera shy.
I'm always nice to the kitties.
See, I don't like cats, but I'm not gonna like abuse one either. Well, okay, there's one, but that one's a special case.
Yeah.
That little-
Oh, yeah. So I was hoping that the lioness would jump in with us. She has the link. She is home, but I don't know. She does things on her timetable. Y'all know that.
Yeah.
So that said, we are over 2 hours. If you guys want to keep going, I'm game. But if not, if you got other things to do, I have no issue with that either.
I do. I have to get ready for a date tonight.
oh, nice.
Are you gonna watch Wakanda Forever? No, Wakanda
Was
Whatever.
that a joke?
Yeah, well, kind of whatever.
Was that a joke?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Well, one of our panelists called Wakanda Forever last night, Wakanda Whatever, and I
Oh.
kind of agree with the sentiment. I
Okay.
just it doesn't feel like a Black Panther movie.
It's
So
a piece of crap on toast. So yeah, I gotta get ready for that. I gotta shower and shave. Sam, you know about the rest of it. So
Yeah.
good night, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
nice
anything
meeting you.
coming
Have
up
a good one.
You want to plug anything before you dip?
Keep calm, mandatory carry on, and everything else I'm still trying to figure out.
Fair
All right.
enough.
Fair
Nice.
enough.
Good luck. Have
Good
fun.
night.
Yep.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming, man.
Who is it?
So, Kat, you get to stick around for a second because I just got something sent to me that's going to take a second to bring up on screen, but it's just for
oh
you.
no.
No,
Oh,
don't
no.
worry. I think you're going to like it.
Oh no. Oh no. 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 No.
Somebody finally put one of her Corpus members in a violative meme.
Surprisingly, this has nothing to do with Corpus.
Damn, I'm still waiting for the Legion of Memers to put one of her favorite Corpus character in a violative meme.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, given everything that's going on in the world, in entertainment, in politics, do you blame me for wanting to bury my head in something that is so unwoke it makes my cat, who sleeps 16 hours a day, look woke?
It's okay. I'll talk to Commander Phil and Rogue about it. We'll even get Horny Alpha in there. They'll make up something fun.
Don't hurt my Corpus buddies. They're the only sanity I have left. Don't hurt my Corpus buddies.
Maybe
All right.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Poor Corpus.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that I like.
Yeah.
Can you send that to me? I have got to
I-
use that at something.
Yes, I can. That is also courtesy of Kohai Masochist.
Kohai,
Yeah.
you are amazing. That is awesome.
It'd be even better if it had your real first name. She doesn't tell people that. She says that they mess up how to say it.
Yeah,
They do. There is no English equivalent to the first letter of my name. My name is Haisha. One sec.
Oh, fair enough. I'm going to add that to our overlays so I can just pop that up at any time. Because gotta have something to balance out the scary. And by the scary, I mean, Shadow, if you're watching. Just for you, buddy.
Here it is. One sec. I found. Give me 1 sec. I got it. Stupid ads. Dear God. I just want to make sure this is correct.
You got to get
Give
ad
me 1 sec.
blocker. I told you about ad blocker. You got to get that. Whip you into shape.
Yeah. But yeah, Kat,
Here it is.
I'll send that to you. I'll DM it to you
Here.
as I stop. Take it around. I managed to close every single window except the one that we're in. I'm impressed with myself.
Did you just share it in the private chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. Did you want me to?
I don't know if you want to see it, but it's called Harfelein, which is the. It looks like.
Is that wild monkey porn you like?
Yeah. It looks like. God. OMG!
All right.
I'm not the one who
Yeah,
shared it. You
I'm
did.
kidding. All right.
She's like, I got to deal with punk ass 2 nights in a row. This is bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah. See, there you go.
Looks like that.
Okay.
Ein. You're
Oh, she shared a
video on how to pronounce the first letter in my name, which, by the way, the way to write my name is.
That's funny. I'm gonna pull
This
that.
is
Is
my
it
name.
so? It's kind of the vowel sound in Y.
No, it's sign.
Oh,
I'm
fair
gonna-
enough. Let me.
In fact, when Geeks and Gamers first shouted me out, at one point, I said if I got to like a certain number of my name in, I would say my name in, I would say my name, but I held up a thing that said my name in Arabic, and several people could actually read it. This is my name in Arabic, right to left, by the way. That's why you'll know some people actually do know it because they speak Arabic. So, yes.
Oh, fair
Look,
enough.
I love my name. I love my name. My name means full of life or long-lived. And as someone who has a lot of energy and is full of life, the name actually fits me. It's also named after one of the wives of the Prophet, who is a bit of a badass and stubborn. Very stubborn. She's known for being very stubborn. Kind of fits. Really fits.
All right. That meme should be in your DMs now.
Ooh, thank you.
Yeah.
I see it.
So, Bo is asking if you play Call of Duty, Kat.
I have not played Call of Duty. I want to play Call of Duty. I have not gotten the new Call of Duty game yet because I have heard you need a cell phone number to play it multiplayer online. I've been playing Destiny and Destiny 2 so much for the last couple of years that I have neglected a lot of other games like God of War, which I've been playing, Alice Madness Returns, the new God of War game. So I'm trying to expand my gameplay by dropping the amount of Destiny I play so I can play other stuff. But I've been wanting to play Call of Duty. I wouldn't. Oh, a lot of times, no. A lot of times, no.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't read Arabic.
Actually, you know which one actually has correct? At least the little that I did see. Metal Slug. Huh. There's a couple business. I think it's Metal Slug 3. The first level, a couple of the words I could recognize. Kind of busy trying not to get killed, but most of them, no. Even the stuff they're saying is not Arabic. It's just screaming and shouting, going ha 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 ha. I was like, no, that's not Arabic. هو أصلا يعني لغة مش يعني بيكلموا كلام فارغ.
Duh.
طيب انا مش فاهمه انت بتحاول تقول لي ايه. يعني انا ايه المشكله يا حبيبي مالك.
Вы говорите по-русски язык.
بقول لكم ايه، انا ما بكلمش لغتكم الفارغ ده، انا بس بتكلم عربي. خلاص.
Yeah, I have no idea what that means. Matter of fact, what I said was Russian. And it
Oh.
says, you speak Russian very well.
And
But
I
you
said,
clearly
I don't know
weren't
what
speaking.
you're not. I don't know what your nonsense is. And khalas, that's it. Khalas. We also have some really good sayings in Arabic, by the way. Because my favorite is ishrab min al-bahr, which means go drink from the ocean. Sort of like, just
Die?
yes, don't exaggerate.
Is that what that sounds like?
No.
That sounds like go die.
No,
Because that's
no,
what'll
it doesn't.
happen if you drink from the ocean.
No, it's more like take a long walk off a short pier. Where you're not telling the person to die, but you're telling them to just go.
Oh, hey, so she is on her way. Awesome. She also will be doing a stream tonight too. So Ryan, one of the things you probably know me more from like Cat. And
Yeah.
Occasionally I will be in the chat and some of the other like entertainment sphere, like Friday Night Tights, Geeks and Gamers, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more well known on the politisphere.
Okay. I mean, I
not super well known. I'm not like Lawrence Southern level or anything, but there are people who know who I am, and part of the reason for that is because I moderate and help run the back end for a YouTuber known as the Exiled Lioness.
Okay, I have not heard of her.
She does straight political stuff, usually very hyper conservative.
Okay,
that kind of thing, and all that. So she
definitely
will
cover politics, so
yeah. Well, she will be hopefully jumping on with us here in just a moment.
She's Egyptian, right?
No, she's Lebanese.
Lebanese, okay.
She's Arab.
Oh yeah, no, she's one of No, I'm just wondering, Egyptian like me, like the Egyptians, the Masriyin. She'll probably make fun of my Arabic then. This is not Egyptian.
I don't know if she would or not. Oh, here she is. All right. Well, welcome in to the Exiled Lioness. Hello. You're on the air.
You're muted.
You're on the air live.
I think she knows that she's muted.
Lawrence Knight, are you asking what's my hat? Because it's actually from a couple of my friends, their podcast, the 8750 podcast. So you can actually you can find them on YouTube and on Spotify, and they have a merch store. So I'll wear I'll rep my friends' merchandise, so I have like a welcome, the rebellion hat from Drunk 3PO and stuff like that. So
Buster, what are you doing?
All right, just a second. Amir, how about tell you what, wave at me when you're ready to come on, and that way we can.
Oh, okay. He said you what, right? Okay.
Hi. I think you're muted. There you are.
Hey guys, sorry about that. It was quite a bit of stuff happening. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
How's everybody doing?
Oh, not bad. Ryan, this is Amira from the Exiled Lioness channel. Amira, this is Ryan from Legion Talk.
It's nice to meet you.
Howdy.
I'm the Hijabi Gamer, aka the Cat, aka Aisha, which I know you're one of the few people who can actually say it correctly.
Of course, I know you. I've seen you already. You are my sister. So yes, and Samuel, of course, is my brother. Nice to see you guys. I wanted to join in on the topic because Samuel told me that you guys were speaking about parenting, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the initial topic we started with, was modern parenting.
Mm-hmm.
And we covered a, what did they call it? A queer polycule earlier today with like 5 adults and 2 children and like 18 cats.
It sounds like the beginning of a bad joke, actually. So
that is correct.
I mean, look, nothing surprises me in the current culture that we're living in. You know that, Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
Me coming from a culture that I'm sure Aisha understands, we come from a culture where this is unheard of, and this is something that is so disgusting to us, the majority of us. Aisha, she might have a little bit more tolerance, but I still have no tolerance for any of it. Does anybody on the panel agree with that kind of lifestyle?
No, not at all.
No,
I think
no.
we had quite a few things to say about land whales mating with cockroaches.
The only reason I have slightly more tolerance is because as long as kids are not involved, my main issue is the kids. Now, on top of that, I don't want them bringing this to the Middle East. Yani, that's the thing. So don't you dare bring this to Egypt. If it's going to stay in America, fine. That's why I have no problem with it here in America. But you start bringing this to Egypt, then I'm going to have a problem.
Trust me, we don't want it here in America either.
Oh, I don't want it. I mean, as I said, my main issue
is tolerant of it. This is the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So even if you don't want it, your government is forcing it up your rear end, whether you like it or not. And Americans, look, I love America, but Americans are poussé. You guys are being big poussé. I didn't say the word poussé. You guys are being poussé because you guys are not standing up for your own country. This is
I'll say it. Pussies.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for saying what I can't. But she's right. I mean, the Middle East, I'm going to say something that might be offensive. Here we go. It's me.
Yeah, go for it. Free speech.
Islam is the last hope for religion and moral conduct codes right now. Because I say this for a reason. Because Christianity, unfortunately, has fallen. They have bent the knee to the current LGBT culture. They have priests marrying men on men. They have priests doing the unspeakable. The thing that your book says to not do, you are doing it. It's an abomination, and they're allowing it in the house of God, in the Christian church. Islam is the only religion so far, thus far, that has stood firm, and we will not allow this khara in our culture. We will not allow this khara in our masjid. We will not allow you, woman, to come into our masjid dressed with a mini skirt and with your hair out and looking like whatever. You better act like you have sense when you come to our religion. And this is what I think Christianity needs to do. They need to get that respect back from the people.
Well, did you see the video from Podcast of the Lotus Eaters where Carl Benjamin was saying he's like the final war will be between the communists and the Muslims because the Muslims are just they won't take no. Like there was some ad, I think it was in Canada or in the UK, where two Muslim women in hijab basically kissing, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't want this. We just don't want it." And they were like, "Okay, well, we'll give in because we're not going to fight with the Muslims." On the other hand, what about people like Ilhan Omar? I actually sent her 2 tweets over a couple days, and I'm like, this is all I'm going to send you. Where I'm like, Habibti, ittaqillah. What you're doing, what you are promoting is haram. You are promoting things. You have the blood of children on your hands. And I mean, I reminded her of the ayah from Surah Taqweer where they're talking about, where the infant, when they bury the infant girl alive. It's like, I'm like, and it isn't just the infant girl in this day and age that you're doing this to. And you don't need to shove us. I'm like, taqillah, you're going to be judged for it. And I'm like, you know what? Khalas. I said to her, Yawm al-Qiyamah, I can at least say, I warned her that she's going to be judged for that. And like how they say, why we can't give people alcohol, right? You can't give us, like my father was once given a bottle of wine and he did not give it to someone else because he flushed it up, because you don't know what will happen to the wine if you give it to someone. It's the same thing. Even if you know that voting against this policy will lose, you still have to, by your responsibility as a Muslim, to do something. It doesn't matter. I ended it. I said, is your squad more important than your God?
She makes us look really bad. She makes us look bad, and this is only a part of the narrative that everyone who's brown and black and woman, brown, black woman, and non-Christian all belong in one group, and white, male, straight, Christian belong in their own island by themselves. And this is a way of separating and dividing us so that the white man is the enemy and everyone else is a victim of sort who needs to be protected, who needs to be spoken for. And we all should just get together as brown and black people and be, this is just nonsense. And this is what's also what we see dividing the children as well. I mean, look, I used to look at Christianity as something that was so similar to Islam. Christianity is very similar to Islam if the Christians actually followed their own book, but they don't follow their book. So instead, they look at the Muslims, oh, these people are extremists. No, we're not, because your book says the same thing that our book says if you would follow it. But you don't follow it. So now we look extreme and we look like we're xenophobe. No, we're not. We just have standards. And Christians used to have standards too. Now they don't. So this is why I think America has fallen so far too. And I know people say like, oh, well, religion is just a way to control the masses. Yes, it is. It is. But at the same time, it gives everyone a solid unification of sort. And right now we don't have it at all. I'd rather us get back to that than what we have now. Okay, if you don't want to be unified under religion, unify yourself under the Constitution. Unify yourself under the forefathers. Can't do that either, because there are so many people who use the Constitution as toilet paper in this country. They're wiping their arses with the Constitution. So where is the unification of America, where people like Ryan can say, well, America isn't falling for that anymore? Because right now we just talk about the Middle East. We say we don't want that crap in the Middle East. Ryan says we don't want it here either. Well, Ryan, you're not the only American that's unhappy with it. But what is happening in this country that people like you and me and Aisha and Samuel, why can't people like us be the ones have our voices spoken for? Because we can't. Somebody is holding that back. Somebody is promoting the stuff that most Americans do not want. Who are these people? Who are these people that are who are just cutting past us in line and going
The government.
straight to power?
I was banned on Twitter because I shared a Joe Biden Hitler meme when he stood in front of that red and black background. My Twitter account was suspended for that, for threats of violence or violence.
Of course it would.
Yeah, my Twitter account was suspended, and my secondary account was suspended, even though I made it before the ban. They said for ban evasion, and they still haven't given it back to me.
I just don't. Like I said before, one of the
You
guys
speak
from
out. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just
You're
gonna
right,
say,
Ryan. You speak up, you get. There's a saying. You what is it called? The nail that sticks out gets the hammer. You speak out, you get the hammer. I just got off of YouTube suspension as well. Sorry, Aisha. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because you're talking about, it's like I said this earlier. It's one of the guys from the Daily Wire said that he would rather his kids go to a Muslim school than a public school, because he knows that even though he's a Christian, the morals and the what the Muslims would teach his kids is more in line with his beliefs than if he sent them to a public school.
Very much so. And if people understood, now I've read the Bible. I read the Bible front and back. I am not a Muslim because my family forced me to be Muslim. I had a time when I thought I could be a Christian. I did. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I'm going to expose this on my channel as well. My own channel is about to hear from this as well. I had a time when I wanted to study Christianity in the effort to possibly be Christian. But the reason why I didn't become Christian was first because when I read the Bible, all the contradictions that I saw, I never saw any of that sort in the Quran. And that is something that shocked me. And you know what it says about it? It says that the Bible has been corrupted way too many times. When you have a man like King James, when you have a King James version of the Bible, and King James himself was...
Oh, you know you're going to hear about it from Larry later.
That's okay. For lack of a better word, King James, they used to call him the Queen James, okay, for certain reasons, because he was friendlier with men than he should be, and he was also friendlier with animals than...
Oh, God, why did you do that?
Lovely.
So, King James, and you guys have a King James version of the Bible, and that is the most used Bible in the world. And you're going to tell me, and all of the contradictions that I've seen in the Bible, not only that, perversions, calling Lot in the Bible. Now, we know Lot, Aisha, tell him, we know Lot. Lot was a great man, a righteous man. In the Bible, they said that Lot slept with his daughters.
Oh, yeah, that's...
slept with his daughters. Pathetic. People trying to just ruin the names. This is so political. But anyway, I won't get into the whole religion discussion, but I brought it up for a reason, because the foundation of America speaks about God. God was mentioned in the Constitution, and in the founding of this country, God is mentioned. On the money, God is mentioned. God was in the foundation of this country. And I see that God has been removed, and this country has fallen ever since. Now, that doesn't mean that that's the only reason why the country has fallen, of course. But I do see that this LGBT agenda that we have going on right now is very godless. I do see that there is an extreme force against anyone who wants to be holy or have standards or have morals. There's, and you could call it evil, you could call it perversion, it's whatever. I mean,
Well, it's a religion in itself.
It is a religion in itself.
They worship it. There's literally a hierarchy. It's a religion in itself, and it went from one group of people wanting just to be left alone. So, which is okay, you can be left alone. But the thing is that now it's like everybody has to agree with it. It's like you're either in the club or you're not in the club, and it's very cultish actually. So it's the most extreme version of, and now they're targeting children and all this stuff, and it's disgusting. It went from I want to be left alone to I'm gonna screw with your kids, and it's like, okay, I got something for you.
Yeah.
Like you start screwing with people's kids.
Apparently, we don't have anything for them because this SHIT has not stopped. In fact,
No.
it's worse. And
Probably going to go on for another decade too.
no matter how much we bitch and moan about it, they still have full reign and full touch of our children. And no matter how much we bitch and moan about it and say, oh, we got something for them, apparently we haven't had anything for them because they are closer to our children than we are at this point. The government has more control over your babies than you do at this point. So
it's all funded by the government, the media. I mean, there is so much money behind this kind of nonsense that, the people who just want to live their lives anymore and who are oblivious to this stuff are starting to wake up to it, because now it's starting to be plastered in their face, to where it used to be people like, us who have seen it, but like going, this isn't going to just stay in the university, guys. This is going to infect everything. It's like it's a virus. It's like cockroaches. Like, if you don't get rid of them, they're going to spread, and it's spread.
They have sex a lot and they have babies very quickly. Yes.
And now the cockroaches are everywhere across this planet. They're everywhere.
You know what it is? That mentality, the college students were impregnated mentally with that thought process.
No, you're right, Amira. Zeron, you're absolutely right. There are people who are gay or bi or whatever who hate this stuff as much as everybody else. They're not the ones with the microphone, though.
Nope.
That's the problem. It's always this small vocal ass minority who gets all the press and all that stuff. Most of these people are just people like everybody else trying to live their lives and be left the hell alone. And then they get dragged into the mud because they happen to share a trait with some other asshole who likes touching kids.
Look, all I care about is the kids. And you know what? I've mentioned this to Shadow of Hawk, and I mentioned this to other people. There's a voice actor I follow. He's one of the characters, right? He's one of these trans women who become a man, right? And I was looking at the pictures. I thought the kid was in their 30s. From the picture, it looks older than you, Ryan, right? Then a couple weeks ago, a person posted a picture first. They're like, this is me at 18. This is me 4 years later. It's like, my God, you're 22. It's like, this is what it's doing. And I just, all I care about is the kids. But I keep seeing these tweets from libs of TikTok. It's like, what can I do? I exploded for a couple days on Twitter and then realized that there's nothing is going to change. So it's like, I'm thinking at this moment, you have your own ridiculous, crazy ass cult religion, and you're going to be judged for it. What is?
I do agree that they approach it very much like a religion. The difference is that its foundation is faith in nothing. Like we discussed earlier, they have faith in nothing. It has no real foundation. What is that the Bible says about Jesus talking about building your house on sand?
Yeah.
Right? You want to build it on the rock, not on the sand. Well, they built this shit on the sand. Sooner or later, those sands are going to shift, and it will come tumbling down underneath them. Not soon enough to prevent a lot of damage being done, though.
And that's the problem, is that they got to everybody's children before people started saying, hold up, wait, what? And it should have been stopped well before this. Like, it took it getting to the kids, and not all the kids are saved. I'm sorry, they're not, because there are still kids who are getting body parts chopped off. I'm sorry, that's child abuse. And the fact that California has passed a law saying that kids can flee from one state to another and be sanctuary in California, that is the most horrendous thing that I've ever heard. And it's like, legally, the parents can't do shit.
You know, and people keep telling me that there are still a lot of good people in California. Really? Why the fuck haven't you left yet?
My only
Why are
thing
you
is-
still there?
That is such
If there are good people in
cesspool.
California and they're passing these fucking laws and they're
Look,
taking children from parents and they're mutilating their bodies, selling them out on fucking Sunset, you know, they're
the
drugging up
trans
runaways and putting them in fucking porn.
But why the trans thing? I remember the trans thing from over 10 years ago because I remember reading about it over 10 years ago. And it was not, it was not this big a deal. Because the vast majority, the number of people who genuinely have gender identity disorder is less than 0.01%. All of a sudden, huh?
Yeah, it's like 1% of a percent.
Yeah, it's so tiny.
Yes, and yet now they're like, it's everywhere. And it's why? Why is this obsession with this trans thing?
Well, that's part of my topic tonight, guys. My show tonight is regarding gender smoothing, or they call it smooth genitals. It's making people eunuchs. So this is a trend actually right now of becoming a eunuch. There are many doctors specializing right now in genital smoothing.
Well, yeah, we're all going to be as anatomically correct as a Ken doll.
That was a punishment in ancient China. They chopped they violated your stuff so you couldn't reproduce.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this something that we're voluntarily doing? And another part of the problem is that people have literally the memory of a gnat. They don't know history. They don't know that's why everybody runs around being like, oh my God, the Nazis. And it's like going, you know who supported the Nazis and helped them escape? The Catholic Church.
Careful with what's on Samuel's channel though, because I don't want to get him too much attention.
You know, as far as I'm concerned, you know my policy here. Say what you like. Say what you mean.
You're not worried about getting too much attention because of the word being used?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Carry away, Ryan.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll dance around certain, I'll call it, self-deletion and stuff like that in some of my channels and stuff. And I try to be respectful. But, and I do try to avoid a lot of this gender affirming stuff. But where I caught a lot of issues was on Twitter and, speaking my mind about certain things. And, there's consequences for it, because people with all the money are in power, and people who have that much money and that much power for years. Hollywood has been degenerate for decades. It's not a couple last 20 years. It's like the last 50, 60 years.
Aisha. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry, Ryan.
No, you're okay.
What's up, Key?
لا أنا مش ببكي أنا the thing is the other thing is, how is it being anti-trans if you think that the issue should be taken seriously in the sense that it's not a game, it's not a toy, it's not a fad, it's not I'm telling you, the majority of these people do not have this. And and it's not something to be desired. It's like the people who think they have multiple personality disorder. You don't want to be trans. You don't want to have multiple personalities. You don't want to be autistic. If you happen to be that way, it's not a reward. It's not fun. And they treat it on TikTok like it's a game, like it's something to be proud of. I follow that goddamn voice actor who every other tweet of theirs is, hey, look at all the trans characters. Look at all. It's like, no, this is not fun. And how is it being anti-trans to say that it should not be a game being advertised to children? It is like going into a children's classroom and saying, this is HIV. Hey, everybody, let's get AIDS. Won't it be fun to have AIDS? It's not a toy. And yet you treat it like it's insane. These people don't have it, and you want it, and you convince yourselves that you have it. It's not a toy.
Transgender, I think, is the word.
It is.
The majority of them are transgenders. They do not understand that this is not a game. This is not a toy. This is a mental illness.
عايشة شوية يا حبيبتي.
لا بس بيطلعوا عيني ان هم مش فاهمين ان ده حاجة هيعور اولادهم. No, the thing is, how is it seriously? How is it being called anti-trans when you're saying it shouldn't be treated like a game or a toy or something to be taught to children in school? This is an actual mental illness, and it's not fun to have. And the people who are genuinely trans, like Blair White, are going to tell you it's not fun. It's not something that they're going to go around boasting that they're happy to have. But you see these 20-year-olds thinking it's something to be proud of. And I bet you half of them 5 years from now are going to be like, God damn it, I'm never going to have kids. I'm never going to be able to experience any
Ew.
kind of sex
Ew.
or any kind. And it's exactly like COVID, where everyone got caught up in COVID, and now they're begging for amnesty, and it's the same thing. And the moment as something becomes popular or hyped up or the new cool trend, the first thing you should do is question it, because you know something is wrong. You know what?
Sure.
Everyone is blindly following something, and YouTube is censoring you, and Twitter is censoring you. You should be asking questions.
I've
So
got
as you-
proof that it's wrong.
Anyway, I apologize for getting. Because
لا لا ما في مشكلة. I just want you to like not. I don't want you to cry. That's all. It looked like you were crying. I don't
because
want.
I don't like seeing what's being done to kids.
Me too. Hayati.
And
That's why I am the way I am, and I know how you feel.
And that's why I told my father I give up. You know what? هيقفوا قدام ربنا يوم القيامة بينهم وبين ربنا مفيش حاجة احنا نقدر نغير رأيهم. هم عايزين ده، وأنا I argue مع ناس على الإنترنت وبين إنه بمخهم زي في حكاية في موسى، ولما قلبه مقفول قلبهم مقفول، راسهم مقفول، مش عايزين يشوفوا الحق، فهيلاقي نفسهم قدام ربنا يوم القيامة. احنا مش هنقدر نغير، مش اي حاجه هنعمله خلاص قفل عليهم، عايزين يعذبوا اولادهم، مفيش حاجه احنا هنقدر نعملها خلاص. فدالي بابايا قال لي ان ازاي الحديث اللي بيقول ان واحد يمسك دينه زي ما يمسك هات كول. خلاص احنا في الايام دي ان الواحد لازم يمسك لدينه وبقيه الدنيا خلاص. احنا هنعمل ايه؟ احنا هنقعد نتكلم كده تاني كل شويه، نقعد نتكلم ده غلط، هنعمل فيها ايه؟ ايه اللي هيحصل بعد المكالمه ده؟ ايه اللي هيحصل؟ احنا الاربعه هنروح على ناحيتنا ومش هنعمل حاجه. مفيش اي حاجه هيجي من ده. احنا هنتكلم مع بعض. لا اكشلي عارف ايه اللي هيحصل من ده؟ ان واحد مننا هيلاقي اليوتيوب شانل بتاعه اتقفل، او التويتر بتاعته اتقفل، او مش عارف مين مش عايز يتكلم معاه عشان هو حاجه ضد الترانس. ده اللي هيحصل من ده الحاجه الوحيده. ولا طفل هيبقى مش we're not going to save a single child من ده. احنا الاربعه منا we're going to go to all different directions وخلاص. that's why انا
But there's not enough categories for all of this. This is what I'm saying. There's not enough categories for what you're saying. This is just, there's not going to be enough. You know what's going to happen? It's going to be a world of everyone is like, oh, I am this, and no one is going to be able to relate to one another. And I think that's part of the reason why they're doing it like this, because they don't want us to relate to each other anymore.
No. As soon as you give these weirdos an inch, they're going to take a mile, like, and then of course they're going to take 10 miles. And we saw that with the Koof, with these people just willingly throwing, like going, oh yeah, government, take care of me. And it's like, no, I don't want the government in my business. I don't want them anywhere near me. I want them to leave me alone. And I want them to leave everybody the fuck alone. And unfortunately, we have a two-party system. One party likes to leave people alone for the most part, and then the other ones are like going, let's meddle in everybody's shit. And it's like, leave me the fuck alone. And it and unfortunately it started with the Patriot Act. I think the first president, I wish they would get rid of it. I wish Congress would vote it out, but they'll never do it, because once they have all this power, they got the CIA, the FBI investigating parents who throw a fit about gender ideology and critical race theory being taught in schools as terrorists. Like, y'all need to this is where it's gonna die, but I guarantee it's gonna take a decade. Like, this is gonna take a decade of pushback. I have a feeling a minimum a decade of pushback, because it finally got to the place where most people are like, leave my kids the fuck alone. And it should have never got here. But the thing is, though, is that if we don't continue to talk about it, and normal people don't get involved in the conversation, and it's never going to go away. And quite frankly, I will admit that I think this last midterm, thing, there should have been some more clear talking points, because what the direction we're going as a country is not good. It's not good.
That's true.
And we are that shining beacon on the hill. We go
We
out every
were.
fucked.
We
Well,
were.
and well, if that's that's no longer the case, there is no shining beacon on the hill.
There isn't. There isn't. Because where else? Where else? لا تبكي حبيبتي. There's nowhere else. There is nowhere else to
That's
go.
the problem. I kept thinking, where else is there to go? And other than Florida, there's nowhere else to go. Florida or anywhere the more. I mean, the only thing I can think of is Florida.
Look,
But
if
no,
it
but
keeps going the way it is, Florida ain't going to be much of a sanctuary for long.
No.
It'll be overrun. It will be. That's just the nature of these things.
well,
Yep.
And then
I
when
live
that
here in
falls,
Florida.
we're done.
no, but the thing is, there was a poll from the Daily Wire that shows that 80% of people do not support this being done to children. The majority of people want some degree of control on abortion. They don't think it should be unlimited. The fact that my state allows it to 9 months is disgusting. It is disgusting.
That's true, but 80% of those people also believe that they are alone in this, that they are powerless, and that anything they do won't change a damn thing, so they don't lift a finger.
But what can we do?
What state are you in?
New Jersey. My state allows unlimited abortion. I was horrified when I found that out. That you can kill a 9-month-old infant. That is infanticide. And you know, Islam allows it up until 4 months, I believe. I go with the
I think it's
truest.
like 12 weeks, something like 12 weeks for Islam.
No, it's 120 days, which is 4 months. But I know a lot of people tend to stick to 3 months, the first trimester. I would rather have it completely banned than allow it unlimited. But we allow it, but it's not to this degree. And the thing is also, when you think about it, it should be even more limited in Islam, because Islam does not allow sex outside of marriage. So your chances, you're not going to be getting pregnant every other week to some stranger and getting an abortion over it. That's the thing. The vast majority, technically every pregnancy in Islam should be between a man and his wife.
The majority are. Yeah,
yes.
that's why we don't have this problem. We don't have
Yes.
issues in our.
So even though it is allowed, it's a frowned upon. It's not encouraged, and it's not even like we're living in. It's not even like it's a religion where people are doing, or going to be having multiple reasons why. It's not going to be some kind of unlimited birth control. It's
Medical reasons.
Yeah, primarily medical reasons. But I mean, that's the thing. What do we do then? That's the thing. That's the frustrating thing. Like I said, I keep seeing these tweets from Libs of TikTok, and at first I got really, really mad. We got some guy named Brian winning MISM, whatever the hell it was.
Brian Shu?
Well, and we're all getting with Brian. Gives him some sort of stupid.
Who government? Governor?
No, he won some kind of, the
True.
The fat Asian dude.
The
No, I mean no, because it's like it's on a level where it's like.
You said the fat.
I am sorry, but they are obese.
It's a description. It describes him. That's fine.
I mean, it's funny. That's the first thing that came to her mind. She's
because
like,
no, you do not understand. When you see this picture, the first thing that will come to your mind is, how did this person even win a beauty pageant? Here,
Wait, he won a beauty pageant?
Yes.
Oh, that fat Asian dude.
Yeah. What's his name? Samuel. I'm talking to him in Arabic now too. Samuel, what's his name?
I don't have any idea what his name is. I've just seen the pictures.
Brian. His name is Brian. Here, I put it in the private chat. The look, look. There are. This is please. This is تخين بطريقة قرف. يعني تخن مقرف. في تخن وفي تخن يعني مش فاهمة وشه اتعمل ازاي. تخن بطريقة يعني قرف. There is disgusting and then there is large. This is large and disgusting.
Yeah.
And then they won a beauty pageant. يعني this is.
ماما ربرب ولا ضب.
لازم تشوفي صورة.
خنزير. Like خنزير.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
خنزير.
I hesitate to play this. Let me see about the volume. The volume is really loud. So.
يعني
You should hear it, guys. What Aisha is saying in Arabic is so funny. She's calling him like some kind of a pig with the lipstick and the I don't know like how to say.
Bussy. Those are the two.
Brian
the last
Nguyen.
thing I sent.
The last
Just-
one?
just-
Okay, that's not this one.
Just real big boned.
So wait,
No,
so
no,
is he trying to be a woman?
No, he doesn't even say it. I think they refer to him as he.
Yeah,
Transgender teen sparks online debate by winning Miss Greater Dairy 2023.
Yeah,
Brian
anymore.
Nguyen.
Transsexual, not transsexual.
I have no clue. No one is sure. There's some people who are, I mean, his name is Brian.
Oh, nope. Says here. It says her down in the article. It's the first time they did that.
Oh, so it's her now.
There were
Oh,
some
no,
of them
no,
that
that's-
were for.
Yeah, I think Kat's right. It's a dude in a dress.
And look at all the girls' faces, by the way. They're all so excited. It's like
I'm
you're
so
literally
happy
propping.
for him.
They
Yeah,
better
you're literally propping
they
up mental.
better- Yeah, exactly, Ryan. It's mental illness, and the thing is that they better be happy, lest they lose their job, lest they lose whatever social status they have. Because in this culture, we better act like we're happy. You know, this is the
I'm
reason.
not
why
acting.
No. Cat. No, the reason why I'm so happy, I do not depend on anyone. I don't need to depend on a job, a boss, or anything. I can say anything I want and be as disgusted as I want to be, and it feels so free, doesn't it, Kat?
No, well, I have a job. The only advantage I have is nobody knows where I work at the moment, except for a handful of people. Most people, I do not broadcast where I work on purpose because I do not want this coming to my job. And I talked to my manager and I said, I do not tell people where I work because I had a really bad experience with several people who I work with. I came home one day, I was really mad over the stupid mask. So I was complaining about the masks at work, but I didn't give any specifics. I said random names, but I didn't say last names. And I didn't say where I work. So there's no way to tie me to my work. But apparently someone who I work with saw the live stream, cut it, and sent it to a manager of mine who got mad at me. I was like, you should have said no. This was me on my private time. And so I specifically went to the head of the store because my company is actually offering people to be paid to be influencers and to do stuff related to the company. And I'm like, look, I already have like 7,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I'm like, look, I am not even going to apply to this. I'm like, I'm one of those people you would want to apply for this. I'm not applying for this because I want to keep my YouTube channel separate from my job. And my manager understood and said, I understand and I respect that. I spoke to several people I work with. I said, my job is separate from my YouTube channel. I do not say where I work on purpose. And one of the only rules I have on the comments on my YouTube channel is do not guess. Even if you get it wrong, I will delete your comment because I do not want any of it tied to my job because I know that I have very, very different opinions. Then they put our pronouns on our name tags.
Right, and it's the same reason that only a handful of people online have ever seen my face.
Well,
I work in the public sector. I cannot have this crossing over with my day job.
You do not want to see Samuel's real face. Oh my God.
Oh, he's handsome.
Handsome where?
Oh, he's handsome.
For an octopus?
No, he's handsome. But then I have a soft side for men. Look, I like men with beards. I think Ryan is handsome. I think the beard makes him look distinguished and handsome. I think Samuel is
There's not a beard what Samuel has. It's tentacles.
Yeah, she's not wrong.
It is.
I'm an Eldritch space entity. It's not hair.
I mean, if you look at my look at my Photoshop picture. Yeah, that's Photoshop, by the way. But yeah, I like to use that because it makes me special on the inside.
I love that, Ryan.
I'm one of the specials. I go by what's the one where the new one is where gender queer. You can be I identify as gender queer, but it's like I'm still straight. I sleep with women. It's like what? Like that's the new one. That's the newest one. Like that I've heard people use. Oh, I'm gender queer.
They want to fit in, but they still want to have a normal life.
Oh, I'm back again. So I briefly lost my internet.
You
That's
did?
what
You look like you were on the whole time.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
That's what you get for saying Samuel is cute. The internet.
He's
said
handsome. I said
What
handsome.
happened when you lie? Don't
I'm
lie.
not lying. He is handsome. I have no problem looking at Sam's face. I have no problem with it. He's handsome.
I do. Since the ladies are all talking about me, I would like to point out. I've already said this to Kat once, but I do find it interesting that I hang out with 2 Muslim ladies on the internet, both of whom are feline oriented.
I'm Egyptian. Do you blame me? It's part of my heritage.
Not at all. I'm not. I'm just saying. I think, like, what are the odds, right?
I mean, this is Arabic. Like, we don't like dogs that much. Like, we're not
That's
into
okay. I'm
dogs.
kind of with you. They're a little too needy for my taste.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey, Boa,
they're-
nothing personal. Most people haven't. Carrie's never seen my face either.
What is it? There's a story of the prophet, remember, where his cat fell asleep on
Uh-huh.
his robe and he cut his sleeve.
And
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I joke with my parents. I'm like, the day of judgment, after we, everyone else would be like, oh yeah, Rasulullah, oh prophet of God is, and I'm gonna be like, cat person, brother, I love you. Not because you're the prophet, cat person. You're like, brother.
Yeah, I'm a. You know what? Actually, Kat, you definitely need to, if you haven't gotten around to it yet, read Reaper Man, because there's a lot of stuff in there about being kind to cats.
Okay. No, but this is actually true. The prophet was going for prayer and his cat fell asleep on his robe sleeve and he cut the sleeve rather than wake his cat.
We didn't want to wake him up.
Yeah. Now you guys wonder why I'm Muslim? It's pretty obvious.
It's the cats.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's the cats. All the cats.
Like, why are you a Muslim? The cats. I wasn't born into it. There's nothing to do with the cats. Though I also went through a similar experience, Amira. Like I had my own period of doubt, and it made, when I came out of my experience, I came out an even stronger Muslim. In fact, in some ways, I'm actually more conservative than my parents.
Same here. You know, the reason is I went to Catholic school most of my life because I went to private school. There were no Muslim private schools when I was a kid in the area that I was. So I went to Catholic school, and I got taught Jesus, Jesus, Jesus my whole life. And I loved it. I loved the stories that they were telling me. And then I read deeper into it, you know, going through the different Bibles and such. And just the fact that there were so many Bibles, that was a red flag. I was like, there's so many different messages.
I just think that we all go through a period. I think at least a lot of people go through a period of doubt, and regardless of how or why. And if you do come out of it, oftentimes you come out of it more stronger for it. I said, my parents, in some ways, my parents are less conservative. I mean, I don't think women should work. I think women should stay home with the kids. My mom, on the other hand, has a job. And I think one of the things that made me realize this was the fact that I practically raised my 3 younger brothers, my 3 half brothers, because she was working. In some ways, I mean, I wear my hijab like this, down. My mom does not. She brings it up. I think it should cover the chest. And here comes Her Majesty.
I have this one here. I'll show you. Wait 1 second. I know this is not the topic, guys. I'm so sorry, men.
I'm sorry, guys. We've gone on to the whole Muslim thing a little too much.
Bother me none.
I don't get to talk to many other Muslim women, especially conservative. So, you know.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'll show you. If I wear hijab, when I used to wear hijab, I show you how I used to wear my hijab. So, I don't know, like, I know it is the proper way to cover the chest, but I would go like this here. So I would pull it all the way to the front. I'd go like that, and I would, like, either like this, you know, like the traditional way, you know.
Yeah, that's how my
parents
want me to wear it.
Or now I don't know if this is proper, but I would just go like this, like pull it back and then go like that. And I know this is not the proper way to do it, but that's like my lazy hijab, and this is how I feel most comfortable though.
Yeah, I prefer this where I take mine. I'm told it's the Turkish way of wearing the hijab. I did not know that.
Yeah,
It's a square that you fold into a triangle, and then I don't know if I have another one around here.
Honestly, I always kind of wondered how those things were put together, because and how they stay together. You guys use like clips or something, right?
No, safety pins.
Yeah,
I use safety pins. I have 2 safety pins. Sometimes 1 safety pin. There's a safety pin right here, and sometimes I put another one right here.
I have a special kind of pin though that I use.
So mine is literally I'll
be right back.
It's a square piece of fabric that I fold in half into a triangle. So it's a square that I folded half. And see, so you can see it's a triangle now, but it was a square. and just take it over and even it out, and then like she did with the hole around the like that. So
This
it's like
is my
that.
pin. My pins are like this.
Oh, that's cool. So I literally have safety pins like this.
Yeah, I know. I used to use those, but I used to poke myself all the time, so I started using these, and these work just as well.
And the cotton ones are the best ones because they don't slide. I
They don't
gotta
slide.
hate the ones that slide all the time.
My hair is too silky; it'll just slide right off.
Yeah, that's why I have to use the cotton ones. But then those are the ones that, you know, unless you iron it, you have to like almost the moment like the laundry. Some of them though are cotton and like they're a mix. Like I think this is a mix, so I don't have to iron it because I hate ironing hijab.
Yeah, we're losing the men. We're losing the men. Let's get back
Yeah,
to
they're like, oh god, those women and they're crazy.
I was just kind of zoning out a little bit. Sorry.
No, I
Like,
was
oh,
actually.
those women.
I saw them glazing
No,
over.
I was actually you know, watching and listening, but I saw that something popped up in the chat, so that's why I started reading that. It's probably why I looked like I was glazed over. No, I'm actually interested. I love learning about other cultures and stuff like that in history and everything. So I was actually honestly intrigued, to, you know, because I've never heard anybody talk about it. I mean, you know, I'm from a very kind of country state for the most part in Colorado, so I mean, you know.
We don't talk about it. I mean, online. I mean, nobody has ever heard me talk about my culture like this, like because I don't have the opportunity on my channel. Most people are American, just white. So or you know, just American. I don't want to say white because I do have a lot of black viewers and everyone, but I'm saying American as in Western.
No,
So
you're okay. You fit right in. Those damn white guys. Fuck them.
I really don't have the opportunity to actually get into my culture like that. So nobody has actually seen that side of me, even Samuel. So it is nice to be able to speak with Kat like that. But guys, I have to get ready for my show coming up here. So
yeah,
well,
and we are just over 3 hours, so probably we're gonna end it
Let me
here.
just- Let me just say, I on the other hand have the opposite because I'm walking around a living billboard of Muslim.
Of Islam, yeah.
And so I have no problem with people asking me questions. I would rather people ask me questions so I can give them what is the truth. Instead, like I had a guy who asked me, why do women pray behind the men? And they thought, is it because women are inferior? It's like,
No.
I've said this, I've joked about this, I've said it is plain and simple. Women don't want men staring at their asses while they're trying to pray.
When we're bending over.
Yeah, that's it.
And that makes sense. That makes perfect sense to anybody, really.
Because men are going to be men.
Yeah, exactly.
Men are going to be men, and that's one of the reasons I like about Islam is the fact that it acknowledges that men are going to be men, women are going to be women, takes that into account, and goes, yeah, this is why. So I would rather people ask me. I cannot hide the fact that I am a Muslim. Unlike some of these people on Twitter who like to virtue signal. There was a woman who's like, oh my God, it's so hard being a Muslim woman. I'm like, honey, habibti, you're not wearing hijab. You no one knows you're a Muslim unless you go and scream about it. Me, I can't hide it, and I will admit it. I would rather die than take it off.
Well, I used to wear it, but my parents forced me to take it off after 9/11 because my parents said that it wasn't worth me to risk my life. But I started wearing it again, and then I stopped again. I just have my issues with you understand how it is, how it is for us women. But
yes, perfectly.
No, that's why when I hear all these people whining and screaming about how life today is so hard and how they are victims and they are discriminated against, and it's like, I wore the hijab after 9/11. Okay, I literally had someone throwing garbage at me. I would have people driving by cursing at me. Okay, so no, you whitey little brats who think somebody getting your goddamn pronouns wrong are nothing compared to some of the stories I've had to endure and some of the stuff of other Muslims I know who've had their hijabs pulled off when my mom was afraid to leave the house after 9/11 because she was afraid something would happen. But so you have no idea. So that's why I hate these people, because they think that it's like, you know what? And we still went through it, and I'm still proud to be an American. And honestly, you know what? I can't even hate the people who hated me, because on the other hand, I kind of understand you. Yeah, there's something horrible happened and they don't understand Muslims. So they saw these Muslims doing something horrible to your country. I don't even hate the people who hated me because I understand where it's coming from. So these whiny ass babies like, oh my God, words are violence. You have no idea. Shut up. And then they're like, I want representation. You know how many Muslims were on TV in the 90s when I was a child? None. So shut up. You don't have a backbone. That's why
they've never even seen discrimination. They've never even seen discrimination to even know what it is.
I have had people come to the library and refuse to like work with me we're refused to come to the desk at me because we don't want to go there when the United Nations is on the service desk. Okay, now it's not. But I also am not stupid. I know there's also people. Each individual person. I don't blame all people. I don't. That's why I'm going to say I fight for white men, because I know what it's like to be treated like a whole group is evil. So when I hear people saying all white men are bad, I'm going to keep saying that's not true. And I'm going to keep fighting for that because I know what it's like. So anyway, I'm sorry. And I've known from my annoyance.
And on that note,
Yeah, on that note, Colossus. All right, Colossus. I'm sorry. You got me angry again.
Y'all should do a weekly stream together. That would be fire. I'd watch that.
It would be. It would
That
be.
would actually be really interesting.
I'd watch that.
She's always welcome. She's always welcome to come to my channel, and we can scream all we want for like 3 hours straight. But like right now, and
that said, yes, that said, let's go around the horn a little bit. Amir, you have a channel coming up. You have a thing coming up like in an hour and a half on her channel. The description or the link for her channel is in the description of this video.
Samuel,
so
bye, guys.
We will see you soon.
Bye, guys.
It was nice to meet you. Have a good night.
Yeah. And then we've got Ryan has
87 YouTube. Yeah, 87 YouTube channels. The most important ones to follow are going to be Legion Games 2076 and then Legion Talk. If you want to hear me talk politics and only politics, you can go to Legion Wire, or I have a history channel where I teach people about history because kids nowadays are so retarded and so are their parents that they don't know what an actual Nazi is. So Legion teaches history. You can find it there too.
Oh, that actually is really cool. I did not know about that one.
So,
yeah.
The link that I have for Ryan in the chat is for his Legion Talk video. I assume that's all linked, like on your Legion Talk channel, or is
I need to do that, and I will do that. I will do that for each individual channel because I'm trying to find my way as well. So, but yeah, just the Legion Talk one is fine. That's the one that we do our Friday show on, and Kat's there, and she yells sometimes.
Yep. That's the show that we've been trying to get Kat to plug over here for a minute.
We're gonna get you on it too, so we're gonna coordinate over Instagram since my Twitter's gone.
Yeah. He made me sign up on fucking Instagram.
I just subscribed to Legion Teaches History.
Oh, thank you.
Because that sounds interesting.
Yeah, no, I literally talk about historical stuff. One that came up recently is I talked about the difference between the Nazi swastika and its actual ancient like meaning, because most people are just like swastika. And it's like you have no idea where that comes from in history, do you?
Which version, the Hindu or the Hopi?
Yeah. See, there's several versions, and that's what I go through and talk about, because most people, when they you hear the swastika, they just think automatically Nazi Germany. It's
you should get Kerry on there at some point. He's got a degree in history.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, him and I would get along then, because I love history. I'm obsessed with it. I watch documentaries for fun.
Yeah. So and that said, everybody who has been on the panel today, all of their main channel links, like Legion Talk is the channel that I have for you, but for everybody else, their main channel links is in the description. So if you want to go give them a like, subscribe, follow, whatever, that'd be fantastic. And all that. And then Kat, you have some stuff coming up.
Well, so apparently people are trying to invite me to other live streams. I just noticed, Horny Alf is talking to me. And it's like today, honestly, at 10 o'clock, it's after live streaming, and it's like maybe next week. He's also Monday and Wednesday. I'll see what he wants to do. But me and Shadow of Hawk do a live stream on Thursdays. It's going to be on my channel this week. I decided we're going to alternate between the two so I want to grow his channel. So me and Shadow of Hawk do that. I probably will be live streaming tomorrow because I want to continue playing God of War. And then I want to play God of War Ragnarok. I do have Instagram, but I have to log into it and get my phone working. It's probably dead. I had a meeting this morning. Okay.
Right. Did you mention the show that you're doing with Shadow now?
Yeah, it's on Thursdays. Okay. As I said, it's good. It alternates between my channel and his. I figured if we put it on my channel, people are aware of it, and then I promote his channel when it's on my channel. So then the following week, if you're interested and you liked what we did on my channel, it's on his channel. So this week is probably going to be on my channel. Plus, I like getting to have control of the buttons.
Yeah, absolutely. It is fun. I will say that. Yeah, sweet. And y'all who have been around for a while know what happens here. This is the main show of the channel. This is the reason that I started this channel, is because I like having conversations. I like talking about anything and everything. So Screaming into the Void, or as I've been calling it lately, SITV, which works out nicely with my initial Samuel the Infamous. Just saying.
Yeah, that does work. That works well. I would admit.
Is the main show. We're here approximately 4 p.m. every Saturday, give or take a few minutes, depending on how disorganized and or late I am. That said, we also, Lawrence Knight and I do a show on Thursday nights called Abyssal Musings. Y'all are welcome to join us there. It is later on because during the weekday, Monday through Friday, I have to wait till I get off work, which is 8:30 my time. For those of you on the East Coast, that's like 10:30. And for those on the West Coast, it's like 7:30, but it's later in the evening. So that's why anything that I do on YouTube happens after those hours, because I work a day job. Also, I've been doing game streams lately. Currently doing God of War Ragnarok. It's a lot of fun. Come watch those. Don't watch those. Whatever. I'm just really kind of doing it because I enjoy it. And then yeah, that's about it. We'll be on the Exiled Linus channel later. I do some work for her over there as well as moderate. And I do some stuff on the back end for her. And we will be over there here shortly. I will put up a link on my community tab here in a minute to that stream. Also, the link to her channel is in the description of this video, as well as Maester Chow's Mandatory Carry. And again, Ryan and Kat as well. Oh, Ed, and my Rumble channel. Rumble link is also in a thing. Go sub to that.
Rumble's very important right now.
So I'm still working out some stuff. I am going to get together with Kat at some point and figure out how the hell she simultaneously does that, because I can't seem to get it to work. It's either one or the other, but we'll figure it out.
Okay.
So that said, anything else? Any parting words of wisdom?
I want the flaming cobras, please.
Okay, we'll get to the flaming cobras. Remember, YouTube, it could always be worse. It could be raining flaming cobras.
Save your breath. Full screen.